Welcome in everyone to the Arkade Season 5 Grand Finals, the match you've been waiting for after all of these weeks. My name is Zach. I'm going to be one of your casters today. Joining me today is Jackknife, Julie the Barbarian, and Spectral, joining us for Invictus versus Cynic. It's a best of 7 showdown, and lots and lots of matches have led to this point, but I'm really excited to be here, of course, joining you all. There's quite a bit to break down and talk about, but let me throw it to Jackknife. How are you doing, man? And are you excited for this?
Yeah, and I'm doing well. I'm really excited to be here. This is two teams that have been really dominant lately. It's been really fun to watch them. I'm pretty sure neither one of these teams has actually lost a single set through the entire main stage of this tourney. So they're playing really, really well right now, and the two Titans are going to clash today. We're starting off with a couple of interesting sets, some stuff that requires some really good coordination, especially this Midwich set. I know, like, from playing myself, that's a set that can be really, really tough. You need perfect communication, and I mean, a Wraith set in general can require really tough communication, but on Midwich especially, you have to know exactly where everyone is and be able to coordinate that well. So I'm excited to see how these teams take that, as well as Xenomorph in the second set. A set that's not too commonly played, I think, but requires you to have good teamwork, set up those turrets for your team, and try to extend those chases so that you don't just get absolutely demolished by that strong chase power. But I mean, I'm excited to see all these sets today, and we are in for a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these are like it's like a wide range of sets, right? Just different play styles, a lot of variety, which you always love to see. I guess I'll throw it to Jolie. Jolie, like me and you are going to be casting the first set, right? Wraith on Midwich. Now, me personally, I'm used to seeing I'm on Dead Dog Saloon, and
Me too.
yeah,
Me too, brother.
In general, with indoor maps, of course, it becomes a matter of communication, like Jack alluded to. For me, it's gonna be a really good set. But like, are there anything you're kind of looking forward to, like in this best of 7 that maybe like stands out to you?
I mean, playing it specifically on the set that we're going to cast on the Wraith, I think that the efficient use of Dragon's Grip is going to probably like hurt the survivors if they don't predict it. It's kind of normal on the Wraith set on Midwich, but even then, I've seen some excellent uses of that perk, and I've seen teams crumble simply because of that perk. That insta down potential really is going to come in handy for the Wraith. Now we could also see the opposite of that and go for a hit and run style type of Wraith. Just bring out all of the resources on the map very early on to then have a strong late game finish. That is also one of the possibilities. Other than that, I am very excited for the Demogorgon and Oni sets. Those are going to be definitely the ones that I'm going to keep my eye on, because Oni is very volatile with that first hit denial of the survivors. But if you're caught in a dead zone, or if you're caught off guard, immediately turns what could be a 4-man out set into a 4K for the killer very easily. And Demogorgon, if they have the wiggle of the M2, it's going to be a very fun set to see.
Yeah, that Oni set as well, being on Leary's with the forced aura reading add-on in this arcade balancing, has been really fun to watch. We've seen, actually, I think we've seen quite a few Oni sets this season where people want to play that because it's something different, something unique and fun to watch. So I'm looking forward to that, as well as Demogorgon. Those are like two of my favorite sets. I'm a Demogorgon main myself, so I love watching high-tiered Demogorgon play. So I definitely hope we get to see set 4, but with these two teams, I have no doubt we're gonna see a battle back and forth.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Demogorgon definitely like a 1v1 killer, right? You kind of just it's very chase mechanics, it's like zoning, and whilst he kind of doesn't really pressure them up as well as some other killers, you can really like see some individual like shining on it. And then, like you said, the Jolie, the Oni set just being like super volatile, can go just completely upside down in like 2 seconds if the survivors aren't positioned well enough. They're not around safety. Like, yeah, it's one of those things. But with the early game, he can struggle. Let me throw it to Spectral. Spectral's gonna be our fourth caster for today. First of all, how you doing, man? I remember first time casting for the Arcade, me and you on the captains tournament. It's nice to be back on the desk with you, dude. What you feeling for today?
Honestly, man, I don't know what to expect. It's the grand finals of a tournament, and any grand finals that I've ever casted has always resulted in one thing: the least, like, most expectant. Well, I mean, no, I'd say probably like the games are definitely something that we cannot exactly predict. There's a lot of things that could happen here, especially in the grand finals. You know, two teams going against each other, like Cynic versus Invictus is a odd matchup, I'm not gonna lie. It's good to see Cynic in the grand finals, however. So versus Invictus, we have seen Invictus's very powerful performance in the past, and of course Cynic showing an incredible showing multiple times. Enough so that they made it to the grand final. So I don't have many comments to say. All I have to do is just kind of watch the game and see exactly how we can move forward, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I saw earlier in the season, Cynic took a 2-0 victory over Invictus, so they've definitely shown that they can shine against this team. Whatever the reasons that may have been for that loss, they definitely show that they are here to fight. Both teams having just like a completely flawless run through the tournament so far. I guess when I look at these sets, one that stands out to me is Knight. I can't say I've seen too many competitive Knight sets.
Well,
Like, I don't know if that's a wild card or not. If that's something that they're used to, maybe in the arcade. For me personally, I've not seen it too much.
well, it's definitely something that you're gonna have to consider, considering that like a lot of people don't expect, you know, the Knight pick coming out of nowhere. Maybe a team has certainly practiced it more than the other. It might be like it depends on who picked it. They might think that they have that direct advantage over the other team, right? Same thing with other niche sets like Dredge. You might even see a Bubba, just like very odd sets that would kind of catch people off guard no matter how many times they scrim for it, because eventually one team is going to be better versed against a killer than the other. Now, I won't lie to you, that comment that you made about Cynic beating Invictus 2-0 earlier in this tournament kind of shows that this game isn't exactly going to be an easy sweep for either team. Whether it is going to be a sweep or not, you can definitely tell that there's going to be a very, very huge bout, even if so. So we just have to hope that completely there isn't some type of stomp, and we get to have an actual incredible showing here. Because I'm not going to lie, bro. I believe it's going to be Invictus first on Killer.
It's
and
Cynic first.
Cynic will be first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, bro.
Yeah, Cynic
Can't
picked
lie.
those indoor sets, both Wraith and Oni. Those were their first two picks, so that kind
Yeah,
of
they're
leads me to
definitely
think
trying to go for
Cynic.
something.
Yeah, they might be trying to throw Invictus off on their comms. Maybe they think they might have the advantage on the indoor sets. Of course, their last pick being Knight, but you run out of indoor sets eventually.
Yeah, but that Oni set is going to be really interesting because last I seen on that Oni set was Trailer Torment being used, and it absolutely killed the survivors. Trailer Torment just absolutely annihilated the survivor team. Calms might have been on point, but just like not knowing for certainty where the Oni is when he uses his power is just so scary.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
we're playing
definitely
cross-ping as
difficult,
well.
dude. Yeah.
So
I
we do
mean,
have that can be tough. Like you're playing a lot of pallets on a map like Leary's, and if your comms aren't perfect, the only catches you just a little bit off guard, you can get those Pocos hits if you're not in a
I don't
very
even
safe position.
think it's like all about the comms, because if you think about it, most of the time, you know, think of like normal sets like that, Meyer, Scratch Mirror, or Ghostface. You know, those killers are always continuously led around. Their room for figuring out where the killer is so small on Oni, especially since the Oni moves around so fast that you can say, oh, killer's over here at 7. He has his power. He's going up 9. The guy's already at 10.
Yeah, that's true.
Like by that point, you have to go ahead of the actual comm and assume that they're on their way to you. I don't even know how to, because I personally have never played an Oni indoor set. I've played against an Oni indoor, but like I've never played an actual tournament versus one. Like that is definitely very
I think it's like
interesting.
it's definitely the opportunity to like cut off rotations and things. There's a lot of different approaches to areas of the map, right? It's not like pretty clear cut like you would see on like Cold Tower or something. So that adds like a different element to the playstyle, which I feel like maybe could make the difference in some areas of the game. But yeah, when it comes to his power, like he could just come flying around the corner, you have no idea. So I wonder if the survivors approach it a little bit differently, like, a bit like a Ghostface set, where like we are not going to be doing anything. Get to safety, don't touch a gen. It's not worth getting yourself downed in a precarious situation, like uh, when you can play it safe, right? Because Oni's on a timer when he's in power, right? So
Yep.
yeah, I do
Yeah,
wonder if
but dude, with
it
the recent
inspires.
changes,
Go ahead.
the recent changes, man.
Well,
I mean, we've
the
all known this, but like those flicks are kind of insane and probably the most offensive like approach that you can take against the survivors, especially since now all angles are going to be a huge threat, especially in crossping. Like you have
Yep.
540 degrees to play with. The entire map is your playground.
Yeah, like I can understand where you're coming from.
540-degree turn.
Locker,
Well, it has to be the flick of all time if we see that. That'd be funny.
if they jump into a
Um,
locker, he does lose his power though. They can still utilize that to try and minimize damage.
But the thing is they have to kind of play safe. They have to play around Chase for a little while. Because if you think about it, you hop in locker almost at the beginning of power. The guy's just gonna run over to the last injured person to where a blood pool is, just take it all up and get power back, and they get a free hook. Almost no thing. So it's all up left to like situations of whether they can correctly decide or dictate like the future of the match to see if they can actually pull through kind of like a very difficult position that they're going to be continuously put in. This is all a matter of stress. Like, can they keep themselves in the right headspace to not mess up, right?
I've got a question. We have our players in lobby. We're getting ready to get started. I want to hear the all the casters' predictions. Do we see Corrupt this first game? We're playing Wraith on Midwich. It's a really small map. Wraith moves really fast. I kind of feel like this is one of those sets where you can forgo that Corrupt intervention. I'm calling no Corrupt this game, but I'm curious what you guys think, if it's needed or not on this set.
I'll stay with you and I'll say no corrupt as well.
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna go
want to
ahead and
see.
deviate.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Spread
gonna
the
go
deck.
ahead and deviate, saying that he probably might bring Corrupt, considering that Midwich is kind of one of those maps where, even on Wraith, like there's a lot of very strong palettes that can be used against you. Other than things like Dredge, to where you can kind of use your power to zone. A lot of things with Wraith, it's kind of up to the survivor to how they play around it. Because if they let the killer body block them, then of course things are going to be really dangerous for them. But kind of chase-wise, I don't think the survivors are going to be too oppressed. So I think holding a bit of a 3-gen, especially with Corrupt kind of confirming it, hopefully getting a lucky Corrupt spawn could give him a 3-gen necessary to kind of hold the game like long enough for him to be able to like, you know, squeeze out a few more stages. Because this game is usually supposed to be outs, especially with Wraith, even on Midwich. So I think we are looking at potentially a Corrupt here.
Interesting. Yeah, I kind of agree. But kind of at a different point where I'm thinking, you know, if it's definitely very punishing if you don't run corrupt. So I don't know if we're in a grand finals and these teams want to take that chance, especially with corrupt. It's just it's there. It doesn't, you don't have to do anything. It's just kind of passive. Gives you a bit of time in the early game, and also like in maybe when you're getting towards those really tiring and weird sets later on, you maybe want these first few sets to kind of go a little bit more stably, or be a bit more stable. So I'll take a player mindset point of view from that point. So yeah, I guess it's 2 for 2, right? No corrupt.
Yeah, I was about to say it's 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I guess whilst the players are already out, maybe we should take some just predictions in general for the sets. For who's going to take the win? I think it's gonna be a close one, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Invictus on this one. I don't know specifics. Maybe we see a tiebreaker. I'll go for the tiebreaker. Giving Invictus the win.
Yeah, you know, Invictus has looked really, really strong lately, but something is telling me that Cynic is going to take this first set. It was their pick. It's an indoor map. It's a little bit unusual not seeing Wraith on Dead Dog, so I don't know what's telling me this, but I'm gonna pick Cynic.
Well, the thing is even though Cynic picked it, this is such a basic set that a lot of people like tend to play and put time into. So I don't know. It's really hard to say. I think maybe Invictus might be able to pull it off, considering that M1 is fairly easy and not exactly the most difficult thing to practice.
Hmm.
And Jolie?
I'm thinking about it. I'm actually thinking about it, but I think Cynic might. I don't want to call it out like that. I think it might be a tie set. I think both killers are gonna 4K. That's what I'll predict.
Not for the whole game? You're not gonna predict the whole match?
No.
No? You
I don't want to sentence anyone.
I
I don't want to sentence anyone. I predict that this specific set is going to be a 4K for both killers, and then we're going to have to see who gets the best.
Well, here we go. We are in to this Wraith Midwich set. A lot of different opinions, a lot of interesting. And look at that, me and Spectral correct with the corrupt. So yeah, I think from a point of safety, like it just gives us so much time, right? Xeno running the corrupt, the Dragon script, like mentioned earlier, and Call of Bride, of course, a perk that's actually seen a lot of attention since its recent changes and buffs to the regression.
Force hesitation though is going to be an interesting one.
Yes, it's interesting. I wonder what he's going for there. Like, is he thinking of slugging, or I don't know what the idea is behind that. If it's potentially like a
it's
dragon's
the combo.
grip.
Yeah, I think it's the combo with the dragon's grip and force hesitation. He wants to catch one specific survivor out in position and then make the other survivors. Ooh, you don't make that. Out of position. Ooh, this is a very nasty pallet to play. He does play it well, and he's on the side that gives him the door, so that's the escape route. But he could just bloodlust this. Oh no, that fake is gonna cost you a hit. Yep. First hit on Nightlight from Xeno. Didn't predict this one, did you?
And we're immediately dipping. That's one of the things. Like you lose sight of him. Your survivors need to get into a safe position, and this is not a safe position. This is piano. That's going to be another injury onto Spitz. 2 injuries down already, and I mean the use of sloppy butcher, so that's not going to slow people down. But it is going to put you in a bit of a precarious situation. We're going to continue chasing onto Spitz into this room. That's going to be another pallet going down, and these pallets are dropping like flies.
Yeah, they are.
We got this one like as the last sort of bastion of defense to these survivers, and yeah, Spitz holding on to it for a little bit. Interesting. He gets so patient. He's so patient in that. He's going to make the window vault now for more safety, but let's see if he can make it somewhere else. And yeah, we've already got a gen pop. Corrupt is over now. Still no down.
The no inside. Bam bam is. Oh, was that resilience? I mean, he's milking that window.
Yeah, he lost Chase. It's not going to block now. And that's one of the things. This window is a god window when Chase isn't like in play, right? Because you can just spam vault it. As long as he lets go a shift, like Xeno is not going to be able to really fight this. He's going to. Oh, okay.
Oh, well, he waited a little bit too long.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the reflexes is also another point, but yeah, wasting a lot of time. And look at that, 1 hook on the board, 2 gens completed. Making his way over here. He leaves Spitz, sees some scratch marks, going to apply Dragon's Grip to that one. We did see Force Hesitation, but no one really in the area, so no value.
He wants to bait that. He wants to bait that Dragon's Grip so much.
Yeah, I like the combination with the Dragon's Grip and Call of Bride, because it's almost Dragon's Grip on its own is in essence like a regression pack, because it stops survivors from touching it, at least when they're healthy, right? And with the Call of Bride in play as well, the increased regression, that is actually going to buy him a lot of time. So he's got the 1 chase perk, had the corrupt to buy him time, and now he's got this sort of mid to late game
is doing an amazing job body blocking. God pallet over here. There you go. Someone already on the gen. We are no longer having any pallets to work with. And it's the classroom. Ooh. Firecracker, maybe?
No, Forced Hesitation's not going to let him do that, though, right? That Spit's taking a second stage. Yeah, the resources are whittling down. The Dragon Script and Call of Prime will always be in play. Of course, he's got those 8 kicks that he can use per gen.
Oh, someone went inside that room. I heard the zombie come out, and that only happens when there's a survivor in there.
Yeah, and it's the injured Nightlight. 3rd gen completed. Does he vault? No. Good patience. Xeno just decides to leave instead after the Unuk comes through onto Spitz, looking to get that tunnel out as early as possible. And the Dragon Script procs off in the distance. And now if Kexo
Yeah, but it was Nightlight.
Yes. Yeah, the injured
Oh
survivor.
my god. That's great. That's a great play. Finally seeing the ace for the first time. Dan coming over. Does not drop the pallets. Is completely confident in this one. And we can see a lot of great skill checks being hit over on the gen with the Call of Brine. He has the info. I find it interesting that he's not pulling away and going for it. Every single survivor injured. Dragon's Grip is now, well, I was going to say useless, but now Spitz is back up.
Yeah, they're taking advantage of the fact
They all reset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're taking a slow approach, but now that means Dragon's Grip will provide some form of value. Of course, it's not active at the minute, but yeah, Kex are going to take this room. We've got 2 survivors in this room right now. They both decided to run in here. One of them gets away with an injury, one of them healthy. And yeah, I mean, this is good information for Xeno. He's got really good kind of idea of the state of the game right now. And yeah, that gen is going to be regressing. It looks like he wants to defend it a little bit, but
You really do not want to play this window if you can avoid it.
yeah, he's not interested. He heard you, Jolene. He's not interested whatsoever.
Yeah, because the Claudette was already coming over to get that Dragon's Grip
They
out.
should be a down. Yeah.
Forced Hesitation going to provide some value, but Dragon's Grip is no longer on the gen. Do they know, though? They do. Damn, these servers know how to count.
I do wonder if Invictus are going to let him get that value from the Forced Hesitation. Of course, when that first... I feel like it's a bit of a surprise thing, right? There's only 2 or 3 chances maybe where you could get value. But a second that they call that out, they're going to know how they want to approach the situation. For these players, especially at this level. 4th gen now completed. Pickup comes through. There's going to be another down. Yeah, not going to be able to
Forced
make
Hesitation,
the
though.
Yeah. If he does make it.
Who is it? Oh, it was Dan, too. Now, my guess right now is that Spiffs is working on a gen. That one over in the corner, probably. Yep. Here comes the ace to try and get rid of the Dragon's Grip. He hasn't broken this pallet yet. And they have been using this pallet. They have been milking this pallet a lot.
This room's been a popular location for the match.
Yep.
It's usually one you'd
really
never
like
want to
the
run into, but it's just everywhere. Like and you know, that's another fresh hook though. Bit of extra wing condition there. Like, they're gonna take a tag. Zero doesn't seem concerned, and he should be because that's the last gen now. And you know
I
what,
called
too
a
many stages to
4K,
speak of.
and now I'm not feeling so good.
Yeah, I don't know. Kexo gonna take the grab, but yeah, I don't know. It just didn't seem really too much like any value came from the pucks because they just played around them, and yeah, Victor's just gonna run away with this.
Ooh, they're on the other
It's
side.
Xeno one killer. I don't know why it didn't click with me. Cynic, Xeno, is this a?
And he usually knows how to play the game. It's just that it's not his game, I guess.
Yeah, just see who we can catch off a little bit. Spitz is there, but he's already death up. Didn't actually go for the
That is
hit.
not a good thing.
he should be able to catch up with the cloak. And all 4 survivors are injured, so if he cuts them off, he knows that there's no gate pressure.
Why
So I
go
guess-
around this side though? Because now they can just go back, open the other gate.
Yeah, I
and
don't
now
know.
you're screwed.
Yeah, it's just that's open now.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
the body
Spitz will
block comes
die,
through.
but he's not even worth that many stages though. So yeah, Xeno's kind of. Oh, he
Ooh.
found Kek, so actually.
Yeah, he
Kexo
needs
doesn't
him.
make it. You have 2 healthy survivors though for the body block. Yeah, look, they're coming in. Oh, and they body block him. Yeah, the dancer's gonna keep him
Perfect.
safe. That's an absolutely awesome play from the survivors. And damn, no 4K here, but I think a lot was kind of left to be desired for that set, right? It doesn't seem like the build really did anything for Xeno there. I like the idea. I feel like it's such an aggressive build, which is so typical for Xeno, right? He's such an aggressive player in general. But like a glass cannon sort of thing, like where it's very good if it works, but if it doesn't work, he's suffering, and I think that's what happened.
It was definitely a weird one. It was definitely a weird one. No, did we see any value of Dragon's Grip? No, right? We saw
No, we
no value
didn't.
of Dragon's Grip.
No forced Tezzy value. The only thing that got any sort of value, I guess, was the Call of Brian regression. But like,
Yeah.
the idea was that it just wasn't executed. I feel like.
I mean, no, the idea was there. It's just that servers were able to play around it once they realized what it was. So it's more on the play of the survivor side than it was on the killers fumbling, because there was nothing for him to fumble. He was just hoping that survivors would be a little bit more ambitious when it came to the Dragon's Grip. Maybe it would have been better to just run Pain Res Pop like usual. It's just standard.
Just go with those like safe picks, right? But I feel like this is such a Xeno thing to do. It's so unpredictable. Which is why I really
go home.
It's why exactly. It's why I really like him as a player, because he kind of just changes things up, like, and it makes it so interesting for us, right? Like we're talking about, and we're like, that's a really interesting perk choice. I wonder what he's cooking up there. But yeah, with weird choices, against like players of this level, I don't know. I mean, I've seen it work in the past, but like it's very rare, and I feel like the grand finals, the player's going to take any chances. I don't know. Maybe the 4 slowdown classic might have been the way to go, but you can only say that in hindsight, right? Because if it works, it works.
Exactly. If it works, we would all be saying, yes, he's a genius, best player ever was. But because it didn't, nope. Should have ran standard. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I think that if the survivors don't realize what's been cooked up, they're going to fall into it eventually.
I do wonder if that forced hesitation procs on the multi-level. That's what I'm curious about. Is there enough range on it? It does?
It does. I think it's 16 meters.
60 meters. So that's like just enough. Yeah,
Probably.
so there would have been opportunities for them to actually see that perk being used. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we just see on the flip side, like just a classic build and it just play out like a normal race set. Because that's all Pedro is going to need to do. I feel like he's set up for success here. And this is not a Cynic roster that I was expecting. I'm a bit surprised. This is a very interesting group of survivors that I was not expecting. I was like, I don't know what happened to Cynic whilst I was gone, but
well, on the ping rules, they have to have EU serves to play with their EU killer, right? So they had to have some of these survivors join their team for this tournament. But I just wanted to say as well on that classic build, like I kind of like not having pain res because it is mid-witch. Those Scourge Hook spawns can be really nasty. Like if you get everything on one side or on one floor, and like you can just get absolutely wrecked by RNG there. But I think Eruption could actually be a really nice perk to have in a set like this. Maybe that over something like Forced Hesitation or Dragon's Grip that can be played around a bit easier, just to get those regression events in and prevent the gens from popping. Because, we saw multiple times where he went and kicked the gen with Colorblind Dragon's Grip and then got it down, but the down doesn't do anything. You have to go back and kick the gen again. And I don't know. I think Eruption could have been really valuable there. Of course, it's easy for us to say hindsight 2020, but
I do see Eruption and Dragon's Grip used a lot, like in
true, and that is a good combo as well, because they have to get on the gen to stop the regression, but then they become exposed, and if they don't, it's just more slowdown.
Yeah, and then when you're exposed, it's like you have the aura read from Eruption. It's a good combo. It's definitely like it's something that's just Eruption, Call of Brine, Dragon Script, maybe like the Wombo combo. But it's good with Wraith, right, with Gen Kicks, because he could just warp around the map and just spread as much pressure as he likes and not really suffer much for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking about oppression too.
What he was trying to say is that this is kind of more Elysium rather than Cynic right now, considering that it's I don't know.
It's a lot of teams.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's quite a lot of teams all in one. If you like, kind of if you look at like the history, you could say, of like each players, there's definitely a lot of history when it comes to all of these people. Multiple different teams. So it definitely shows a lot of experience, not gonna lie. But it's like you said, not what you expect to see out of Cynic.
Not Cynic as well. I don't know. It's Angels and then no one else.
It's Angels, Ivan, Zeno, Marcos. Like,
well, that's one thing, right? You've got 4 good players, but like, if they ever worked as a team, right? Is that going to bite them in the back a little bit? Like, who knows?
I mean, yeah, it definitely does come to show, because you can tell that these people have potentially played with each other once or twice, but not as much
Not
as
like-
they have with each other.
Not the cohesive team, right? But against Pedro's killer, like, I mean, I know for what he's capable of. I'm sure he's going to punish any mistakes that they throw up, but I'm excited to see what build that's going to come through. Probably nothing as wild as Possitation, but we can pray, right? We can pray.
We also have to see the placement of the God windows, because those placements were nasty for Zeno.
I don't know if it was the same window we saw second time round, but they was definitely strong. Yeah, there's so many things that play out in your head a little bit, but loading into this next match, and yeah, I mean, look.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the first set of the arcade. My name is Jolie, and I am joined by Zach casting this first set. Spectral and Zach Knife will be casting the second one, and we already see someone over here. It is none other than, is that Lara?
As a Lara Croft, yeah, the famous survivor.
It looks like a Nia, I swear.
It's that new hat. It's new swat. That's the Shadowrunner hat. The new Shadowrunner outfit. It's not a linked set, so we've been seeing some new fire combos lately. But already a early injury on our survivor with Soppy Butcher, of course.
No way. He got a better start than before.
He gets that, yeah. It's gonna be a very quick down onto Zeno. Very early pressure, but we could just call that a tactical removal of corrupt, probably. That's usually what we say in cases where downs come in so fast, but that is, of course, pressure loss for Pedro too.
I have seen that happen in plague sets where people bring no mither and plot twist.
Yeah. I saw recently it was a no mither plot twist for the people. So, and this was as soon as they loaded in too. So like as soon as it switches to like the Billy's POV, you just got 2 broken survivors. You're like, did they both bring no mither or what was going on? Interesting use of the perks though. Do you like it? But that's gonna be our survivor still on the hook though. We have Ace in chase now.
He could camp this. Well, he could have camped this.
Yeah, you see with early downs. When there's like early downs that come in, they do often try to take that second stage because there's not really much loss for it. Do get some gem pressure, but then you have someone that's basically on the verge of dying at 3 or 4 gens even, and that's he's gonna go down quickly. It's gonna be a quick second stage, but for Pedro this is a dream start.
Yeah, this is a much better start than before. 2 hooks at 5 gens. He needed 4. Well, 2 hooks at 4 gens. Is another one gonna pop? Okay, thank you. Caster's curse, man, I swear.
Once that happens. But how the survivor's going to answer this, I guess, is our question, right? The early pressure that Pedro's got with a Lara Croft on Death Hook so quickly. If they can answer with some gem pressure, they can feel good about having the survivor dead so early on.
Already going for the save here. We're going to see for the people. Nope, and no body block either. Oh boy, this is not looking good. There's the body blocker coming through. Yeah, but what do you do here? They take a hit. They're gonna have to take it down if someone else doesn't come.
Yeah, how much distance does our Lara get to this pallet? This is not the best pallet in the world. The one in the other room was already dropped. I don't know if it was broken. I don't remember. But with the speed from the Wraith, this is going to be a down. And that's a dead survivor at 3 gens. Only just managing to pop that 3rd gen. Oh.
No way! There is
eruption.
no way you got that
Eruption,
eruption value. What just happened?
That's a bit of a blunder. Like, wait. I don't know. Let's just move on. Anyway, we're gonna hug Lara Croft. It's gonna be a dead survivor.
Come on.
Is he waiting for another? Oh, from the top ropes, Ivan coming in for the flashlight save, and unfortunately gets punished for it. But damn, this is insane pressure compared to what we saw last game. That's going a bit downhill for them.
It's a complete 180 what we saw last game. Survivors had a lot better grasp of the match last game, especially at 3 gens. They had 3 hooks, yes, but spread around multiple people.
Oh, they had. I mean, what can you say, right? It's all situational. Like, these games don't go the same every time, and unfortunately, due to the restarts.
Oh my
like
god!
chaos.
And he just keeps winning.
Yeah,
he
he's
just
winning
keeps
everything.
winning. And
I know.
now, well, we're gonna see the 4K if you know we don't see a hatch escape right now because he's going to slug and try and find the ace.
Yeah, I think when we look at the win condition that was set in the first place, it wasn't it wasn't a high road for Pedro. I think that it was definitely a doable thing. Definitely is now, and if not already, is done with this next hook. But damn, insane pressure coming through such a good first couple of chases.
They're doing gens.
Getting those gens done. As long as he doesn't hook the survivor, they're still in it. But that is unfortunately what we're doing.
Oh my
and
god!
it's next to each other. Oh, they're looking at each other from the corridor. They're like, "Hey, buddy, I'm also on the hook." And he's standing in between them. Oh no! This is like perfect world if you're a killer. You know, your job's to sacrifice survivors to the entity. This is about as good as it gets.
I mean, this is like a Bubba's wet dream right here. Like getting these 2 survivors on these 2 hooks, just perfect Bubba setup, honestly. Oh, here comes the savior.
And this is just a 1v1 now.
Well,
and yeah, just
that's
winning
an
every
immediate
50-50
tag.
in the mind of every survivor in this match, to be honest. Pedro, and yeah, that's gonna be a 4K too. Oh, there you go! He gets it, dude. Damn, that is a 4K2 secured and a blinding, a blinding result. Like taking the first set, Invictus, and yeah, I mean, replayed the set. It was a fast set, so I mean, I honestly think that we spent longer setting up the game than the game actually took.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I completely agree with you. And it was completely unexpected. Like, this was not in my bingo cards because of the last set was looking so much brighter, and then we have this set where everything just goes wrong for this for Cynic survivors. Like, everything went wrong for Cynic survivors here. Pedro just kept winning and winning and winning. Every single 50-50, every single hit, every single tip of that sword was hitting. I just don't know how he did it, honestly.
Good. I mean, it's such an early down, as well. Like, I don't know if you think about mentality. I guess I don't know. It's your first down's fast, and then, to be honest, I think the survivor timing on the unhook was a bit unfortunate as well because Pedro's already making his way back. But that's a Wraith thing, right? It's a specific thing for Wraith on midwitch. And so when you have that unsafe unhook, it puts the unhook survivor in a bit of a situation. And And then I think Pedro just kind of took advantage of that. So do we put it down to maybe lack of survivor coordination, or it could have been a bit better? But then Pedro is just a wraith who can speed around the map too. It's just how do you look at that? But the early elimination and then the eruption, the eruption on the
Eruption
T5
play.
that
That was the best moment of that set. Was that eruption? That eruption was the best thing we saw on that entire set. All the 50-50s and all that were great, but that eruption play, golden, absolutely golden.
I know for me as well. It's just,
Knew.
he watched Ivan fall down.
But they popped that gen and they got hit by eruption, so they knew that there was aura reading on them, and they still went for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think part of it has to be too the win con, right? Like we mentioned, they had a tough win con to beat. They had to go for a bit of a play and assume that Pedro was going to make a slip up or something. But it did come back to bite them, obviously. So.
Well, with the Wraiths over, I guess, we're talking about what's the next set. It's going to be Oni, right? Oh, no, Xeno.
Xeno.
Yeah, Xeno on CT2. So, a completely different killer, right? Definitely can be weak, can be a bit of a pushover, especially when the coordinated use of those turrets, right? So, I think maybe we just shake this one off, right? If we're Cynic and we just kind of focus on the next one, try to get a good result.
I wouldn't go so far as that. I've seen some pretty good Xenomorph games on Cold Tower 2, especially with that tail being so incredibly precise in both the good and the bad. I've seen survivors not get hit because of a pixel, and I've seen survivors get hit when I feel like they shouldn't have.
I think it's like I mean, even like if we look at the micro of the chases, I guess it's a bit similar to Huntress for me. Are they gonna drop the pallet? If they do, they get hit. Because they're stuck in animation, and then you either use it as a bit of a mind game to try and chain to your next loop, or try and break a corner. But for me, the turrets too, like it's he can be very oppressive in chase, but he could also do nothing all game. Like it's so weird. It's there's no like middle of the road for this killer. I feel like he either just gets completely bullied or he kind of just steamrolls. It really depends on how those first few chases go for me. But yeah, I don't think he's a killer that we see too often in general.
Flamethrower placement is also going to be key, because I have seen survivors properly place flamethrowers and then put themselves in front of the flamethrower while they're taking a hit for a survivor or something to obviously obstruct the vision of that killer. Yeah, exactly. That was such good tactical play, because the killer would use the tail to hit the healthy survivor and immediately get flamethrowered and lose their power. It was very, very tactical. I don't know if it was obviously intended as they expected that, but it looked very tactical.
Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of potential things that you can do, especially with like more. That's honestly one of the big things I like about these types of killers is that you kind of have like counterplay against them given to you by the game. It's not something you have to make up on the spot. You have more resources to work with. It's not the usual, break line of sight or things like that, right? And those are the types of things that I like about these types of killers, but
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the results from this Oni set. I think Invictus will probably put on a strong performance here. I think if my memory serves correct, we had an Invictus Oni set just a few weeks ago where they had no hook stages when they popped all 5 gens. They did end up giving some hook stages in the end game, but they've definitely shown that they are strong on Leary's for sure.
I feel like
Sorry,
this
we're
is
going
probably...
to Xeno now. I don't know why I'm talking about Oni already. I'm just I'm looking forward into that.
I mean, we could talk about Oni for a second. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like on any indoor set, it's generalized that you're gonna be looking at like coordination, and that's gonna require a lot of team comp that is built by experience with each other, and that's going to make, I feel, things like very difficult for Cynic if you think about it, because, well, it's kind of almost, you could consider it a fresh team, the way that it's just, you know, a whole bunch of I mean, I guess there's some general coordination between some players, but obviously within like the main roster of Cynic, if they're going to be playing, then it's going to be a lot harder for them to keep up when it comes to like team coordination and of course communication. Just a lot of team experience is needed for these types of like technical sets.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting to watch the Xeno as we're loading into this set. The Xenomorph got changed, I guess not super recently, but a few months ago, where the turrets don't burn her out of power quite as quickly. So I'll be interested to see how the survivors want to tackle this, how they want to go into the double turret setup or whatever that looks like. But we will see, and it looks like we are loading in. We do have the Xenomorph here on Cold Tower, and we are going to be spawning on the top side. This is Cold Tower 2, I believe. So immediately going to go into tunnels and get into that crawler mode, which is certainly the more dangerous form, and the survivor is going to be fighting the entire match to try to break them out of it. And it looks like we're taking our first chase with Lara Croft, an early firecracker is going to come out here. Spectral, how long do you think? I mean, the average Xenomorph chase, not usually too long, right?
Well, yeah, especially if it is in tail form. However, I think that the usage of Cold Tower 2 here could actually help the survivors out a lot. You know, there's a lot of loops that aren't exactly too easy to snipe over as long as you crouch. We're going to be seeing a pre-drop here from our ace player, I believe, so is that we're actually following around, but there. Oh, wait, no. Instead of staying at the double window, we're going to be playing around the treads. They end up dodging the tail there, which is actually very strong, as now they're going to be taking the distance to move over towards the double window. And they do have the long one to work with, and instead it seems like they're actually going to be faking around the short side, end up vaulting into the killer, playing the treads one more time, and they're still doing a very good job of avoiding this tag until they end up taking the normal M1, which means that they're going to lose a little bit more distance than they necessarily needed, as now we're actually going to be vaulting into the killer, breaking the door very quickly, taking the distance around main, pre-dropping here, and is unable to dodge as the ace goes down, and the first down of the game is given to the Xenomorph.
That was a really nice attack, and I think honestly, this is not where Cynic wants to go down. They had corrupted generators all on the bottom side of the map, but they are going to allow Invictus to get that down around the main building and now kind of be able to hook this ace wherever they want. We have a really centralized pain res hook here. We heard a gen with a lot of progress that was in that top mid, but those are the only gens that were open. So of course, I mean, we'll see how aggressive Xenomorph wants to play here, but they could certainly camp, although it looks like that's not the strategy. And for the people already coming out, so before we even get a tag onto the Claudette, the unhook has come through, and I think that kind of makes sense. These survivors want to get ace out of that gen spread where we had so much progress.
Seems like the sacrifice from that kick onto the generator is going to knock the Xenomorph out of power. It's kind of scary to say that.
Oh, we see footsteps.
Oh yeah, right here. They are going to be dropping down from main here and getting burnt by a turret from behind. Almost knocked out completely. I feel like maybe.
Oh, the second turret got him.
Yep. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I feel like it's a tiny bit unfair that. Like, it's definitely a double-edged sword when it comes to trying to balance this killer around the fact, is a turret going to be able to fully knock them out of power, or they're going to have to dodge? It kind of, like, leaves it up to, like I said earlier in the campfire chat, the survivor. So it seems kind of odd that the buff is going to completely, and there's a fat shame, going to completely make it so you can't actually knock him out of power with one singular turret. It's just... like, no matter what distance you take it out, you're going to be able to take it out. And it seems like we're moving over towards this gen over here at, I believe, 1. Depending on what comms you take as well, this would also be considered to be, you know, 2.
Another nice double turret setup. Going to be knocking,
very strong double
knocking this
turret
out of power.
And we're in main right now, dropping from the top. That's 2 vaults, man. You see both the survivors looping around the same loop with each other.
Yeah, it looks like Cynic trying to get a reset off around this main building, which can be a bit annoying to chase, I admit, but kind of just ignoring this turret is going to get a tag onto Lara. And now we're going to be committing... No,
I think it's slowed them down.
We're not going to be committing to that chase, looking for our Nancy. Of course, neither Laura or Nancy, the injured survivors, have been hooked yet, as we see our second generator popping on the top side. And now it's kind of up to Cynic. They have this main building to work with on the top half and a couple of generators done up here. They're free to take chase up here while they crank those generators on the bottom half and set themselves up for a really nice result in this set.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, bro. These chases are looking fairly strong. We do see the pickup come through as well. Ace is going to be in chase right now. They were seen around the filler pallet after popping the gen. They're doing a very good job of taking distance over to the non-progress gens. The gen there does pop very quickly. Of course, using this turret to give him even more distance. As at this point, turrets are more for distance rather than actually knocking the kill out of power. Otherwise, you're going to have to set up a double turret. And it seems like we're going to be breaking this as Ace runs around this jungle gym. And ooh, I don't think we're going to be committing to this for long unless we want this down, as it seems like the Xenomorph is going to be committing for the down on the long wall jungle gym, as they are going to be vaulting. They're going to be running to the inside of the loop. That's a very smart decision, as there's a lot of repression that kind of happens here with this killer, and they're running around it instead of playing the pallet, which is also smart to use against the killer, as the long wall is going to be utilized once more, still keeping around this loop. And it seems like we're actually going to be looking at a fairly strong play here, maybe potentially going to be seeing another vault. No, instead going to be going back towards this long wall, and they aren't going to lose chase, which means that we are going to be losing a bit of distance here. And now they decide to take the vault, maximizing it and trying to grab the most possible, as they are going to be vaulting it another time. And it seems like we might finally see the down here, as a 50-50 is produced to this survivor. And it seems like they are not going to vault. Instead, they're going to be running around the long side. Could we potentially see this down here, as they're going to be going for that lunge, but they end up cutting the corner just in time. Fourth gen of the game is going to pop. Ace still in chase around the exact same loop. They're getting a lot of value outside of this as they pop this final gen. And it seems like we could see the down here. Oh no, but the medium ball is going to come through. He takes even more distance, makes it over towards the pallet, but unfortunately that is the call that Zeno makes, and he's going to finally get the down onto the Ace. And if I'm correct,
Insane
is
chase
this
there.
the second? Is this the second hook?
This was the survivor that got hooked, so they should be on second now. And you're looking at a 3-stage game unless you can find another survivor, but the gates are already going to be open. Incredible gen pressure from Team Cynic is going to get them out the gate with one fresh hook. And I mean, assuming they take these outs, and yeah, they are going to go ahead and take these outs. So the Ace absolutely juicing that jungle gem for every single second, winning a lot of 50s. And at what point you have to wonder if it would have been faster to just break that pallet and get rid of that loop, cut down the amount of distance that he could take. But that was an insane chase, very impressive, and that's going to be nearly an impossible result to beat, as we see them taking 3 stages on a set that they didn't pick, remember. So we might see both teams taking a set that they didn't pick off the start here.
I'm not gonna lie, that chase kind of comes to show like the greed of trying to zone people. Like, I didn't expect Ace to be able to play that so powerfully when it comes to like the Xenomorph. The Xenomorph is a very heavy anti-chase killer. Kind of like how the Clown kind of slows you down. There's a lot of areas with the Xenomorph that you can't exactly take without being pressured by the tail, especially when how the Ace died there, when you're in an animation lock and you're unable to dodge or move out of the way to see if you could even potentially have a chance to survive just for a little bit longer. But insane chases there, you know, able to get his team an incredible amount of time. I can't see, but let's go ahead and give some credit towards our survivor there, Marcos, with an insane chase, as I did not expect that, honestly.
Yeah, he absolutely carried the second half of that match, and it's perfect for Cynic as well, right? That he was the survivor that got hooked, taking that chase in endgame and just minimizing the amount of stages that they could possibly get out of that. That was really fortunate for them that no other fresh hooks came through that would have also been pain res as well. So like you couldn't have asked for a better situation. That will make the second set or second trial really tough here.
I can't honestly begin to think about how this result might be. That they're gonna have to play this on the side of Invictus almost perfectly. Because, I mean, I don't know, man. Just think about it. We're looking at 3 stages. And who's on killer right now, if not one of the best variety players when it comes to killers in the entire game?
Yeah, we do see Xeno on the Xenomorph. Funny enough, he has been one of the best killer players, especially as of recent on a variety of killers. I know we talked about a little bit earlier, Xenomorph not being an incredibly common killer in comp, but these survivors, I mean these players on both sides, they clearly know what they were doing. Those double turrets came in handy and really slowed Nightlight down, and so their survivors are gonna have to do the same to Xeno here and try to. I think at best you kind of have to play for a tie here. Like getting 2 stages and getting a 4-man out in like a high tier comp match is somewhat unrealistic. But a 3-stage game, I mean, we just saw it. It happens, right? Against a killer. He's certainly not an S tier killer. We could play for a tie here and then not give up that set at least. I think that's maybe the best case we could look for here. Otherwise, likely Cynic taking this and making it a 1-1 match so far.
Indeed. There is probably going to have to be a lot of hit tanks here. Just like a lot of chase support, because the chases are going to have to go for a incredible period to be able to pull off something under a 3-stage, especially against somebody like Xeno, who's like versed in such things, of chase and all that.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw some of that the last match as well. That was part of the reason that we didn't see it down for so long in that mid game. The first down came in about 2 minutes in roughly, and then after that there was a lot of chase with nothing really happening, no downs happening, and that main building proving to be very strong, especially when you don't have Bamboozle to shut down that main window, running the 4 slowdown perks. But if you can't end up securing those chases, then you don't get all that value out of your regression perks, right? No eruption, no pop, no pain res if you don't get those hooks, or at least the downs for eruption.
Indeed, man.
Right, getting his trial almost set up. I think they're gonna have to play kind of aggressive. It's kind of the exact opposite of what we saw in that Wraith set, where the team going second is gonna have to play really aggressive and try to get an insane result here. We'll see how risky they want to play. You know what? I'm predicting somebody goes for a flashlight save or a firecracker save this game to try to boost things, to try to flip things in their favor. They've got to do something, right?
Yeah, that's honestly a fancy play that you kind of don't expect to see too much. It's definitely given the opportunity if possible, because not any this isn't 2016. No one's running over to the injured player to see if they go down and to see if they get the flashlight save. But now we're actually loading into the match and kind of seeing as to kind of the start of what Xeno's planning potentially to get this. Honestly, fast stages is probably the easiest result that he can beat. I mean, getting 3 stages with Freshes alone is probably going to put him up in the lead just against Invictus here. But it seems like Xeno is going to be moving in towards towards the chase with Pedro, or not even Pedro. That was Dan. Honestly, I think we did see Pedro there for a short period of time, but seems like we ended up finding Dan instead, as Dan was running away. And it's going to double vault this window, trying to go for another tail swing, but Dan is going to take his distance and move forward. As there's kind of a solid start here on the Invictus survivors. He's already leaving the chase here, Jack.
Yeah, I think Xeno maybe learned from that last chase we saw with Nightlight to maybe not try to outplay a jungle gym forever on this killer and try to go for different survivors. We find 2 survivors with the heartbeat here. Really smart of Xeno there. He sees double turrets. He's going to break one while he stays out of range of the other and able to just keep his brawler mode going here. So I really like that play. That was a high IQ play, I have to say, of Xeno. Something I might have not thought of myself. Looks like we do see Spitz here at the main building. And yeah, trying to outplay and draw Xeno back into those corrupted gens, but he's not falling for that either.
We do see Kexo around Shaq here with a bit of progress, and Pedro.
Just ignores that turret entirely. Okay, that is going to take him back into the regular walking mode. And now you're playing M1 killer at Shaq. That's maybe not the most efficient, but Shaq Pilot not going to be saved in this match. Like, we need to be incredibly safe.
I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of good. It kind of sets up the future of the match for him, as nobody can actually use Shaq against him, and instead they're gonna have to use the window, which is already a very risky loop, especially against, well, any killer with kind of like an extended lunge added to them.
They got that range
Like,
where they
yeah.
can certainly get those hits.
So definitely gonna be a very powerful loop for Xeno to kind of utilize against the survivors in case they were gonna be zoned there. So everybody's gonna have to play around it more or less as kind of like a rotation to move around. As it seems like we're actually gonna be seeing Pedro and Chase around it, see how he decides to take a crack at it. And it seems like he is going to be faking it out completely and going around the long side once more. We might see potentially an attempt at a hit here, as Xeno is actually going to be faking around one more time. And it seems like Pedro does the exact same thing. Are they going to run around the exact same part? And it seems like, yes, that is going to be the case, as the first gen of the game is going to pop. Finally, he's going to vault one more time, and now the pressure is on as he's forced to dodge here to see if he can try to do anything. But no, instead he's actually going to be taking his distance, which is a smart play as well, maximizing his potential chase timer instead of being zoned at Shaq after taking a tag. And now he's going to be moving over towards this eye palette, as this eye palette is a little bit risky. We're going to be seeing a hit tank here coming from Dan, as Dan is unfortunately unable to get enough or give Pedro an incredible amount of distance. He ends up taking a tag. However, he is going to be able to make it over towards main, where the pallet has been broken. Kexo also coming into support. We're seeing this coordination from the survivors, and he's going to be taking a tag in front of the turret, which, by the way, I'm not gonna lie, I don't even think Xeno even saw, which is almost completely destructive of kind of the future of this game. That is going to be the second gen of the game popping currently, as Invictus is showing a very strong performance. Only 3 stages is needed, and they are doing incredible at keeping Xeno at bay.
Yeah, we do have 3 injured survivors here, and a bit of stealth coming out of that tunnel as Dan is forced to drop this eye pillar really early, and only one survivor that could even possibly come in for a hit take here. He double vaults that pallet, but I think he's going to be running out of time here. Nobody quite here able to play for the save, and Eruption proccing on Shaq as well. That is exactly what you were talking about, where the Shaq pallet was gone early. That forced Pedro to take a hit, which forced Dan to take a hit, which forced Kexo to take a hit, and that pressure eventually built up and was a bit too much for Invictus to keep this at a 0-stage game. So first hook coming through at 3 gens, certainly later than we saw in the last trial, but I'm not sure. These survivors are going to be running out of resources eventually. We did get a full reset, so the other 3 teammates going to be able to play for this, and a quick unhook as well, and a tag on the Kexo. And are we going to play for Freshes here? I think that makes a lot of sense. You don't necessarily have to tunnel Dan out here. You've already got the injury on Kexo, right? So just playing for 3 hooks with 2 Freshes is a better result than 3 hooks, 1 fresh. And actually decides to leave this chase.
Okay,
we do
so
still have Pop and Eruption.
Tunnel.
We still have Pop and Eruption here. He might want to just get his value in here, apply that Eruption, and know that he can use the tunnels to locate survivors later. A bit of a 3-gen here at the top side, as Xeno has pretty good mobility, but I don't think it's really going to be realistically defendable long-term in a 4v1 match, even with perks like Pop and Eruption in play.
Yeah. And now we're using our tunnels once more to actually make it back up towards main. We could potentially see a tag here. No, he's actually kind of just looking around to kick gens and apply Eruption to them, and also potentially find survivors, which we do end up finding Pedro here. Pedro is going to be running around main and is going to be vaulting this window, skipping the loop and going over towards the Ordman, as the Ordman is actually very far away from all of the gens, and he can use it to kind of rotate into the bottom side of the map. And I'm not going to lie, this is actually horrible, as there's only 1 TP around, and if he ends up running towards the bottom side, he's going to waste a lot more time before he's able to TP completely. Pedro taking a tag
for TP crouch. He was trying to dodge that tail attack for sure.
Yeah. But Xeno goes for the M1 instead, and now still following behind him, we're actually going to be seeing him run over towards the tile on 1 here, making sure that I mean, I'm not going to lie, this tile is also very, very strong against survivors when it comes to the Xenomorph. You know, anything with a long wall where the survivor has to run in a continuous straight line for longer than 2 seconds is enough for the Xenomorph to down them very quickly. And Eruption is going to apply to both gens. He does have Pop in his hand, so he can move around the map and, of course, you know, keep the pressure on and have a kind of a smooth game. Jack, 3 gens, only 2 stages. They need to start playing perfect now.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. And 2 fresh hooks secured as well. So the next hook stage, no matter which survivor it's on, will secure the win. for Team Cynic at this point, and you're playing against Xeno, you have to play perfect. You're exactly right. You have to play altruistically. You know, maybe we don't see a flashlight save. Maybe we start dying under pallets or something when you have nothing else to go for. Looks like we're baiting a bit of dodging here, trying to get Kexo to path imperfectly there, but he's just going to be taking his distance. We're running dangerously low on resources, and like you said, still at 3 gens. I think this is looking quite favorable for Cynic here. We just have nothing here, as that really nice tail attack is going to be able to get the hit. And Spitz was in position for this Firecracker save, as they cannot allow another hook stage to come through, or they will be losing this set at any cost. Spitz is going to be taking a tag here to try to get the slug off the ground. You have to play super aggressive here.
Unfortunately, I think this is the end of the road for Invictus here in the Xenomorph set, as it kind of shows that they played very well. Either way, this is probably going to be an insane result, as he is going to be dying on top of the pallet. Wait, hold on, no. I could be wrong here.
Yeah,
we
Dan
do
is
see
in
Dan
position. These
in
survivors
the
are
distance,
incredibly
potentially gonna be going for
coordinated.
something. He's running around the short side. He's going to be taking a tag. He does have the flashlight in hand. We could have potentially saw a CJ there. Oh, he fakes the ball. He's fakes it one more time. We do see Pedro coming in to support it. They're doing so much to try and win this game. I mean, after all, if you think about it, they really do not have anything to lose. Oh, Pedro comes swinging around. Xeno using the utilization of the mobility, moving around the tread just to grab that tag on it to Pedro. As we do see, or still see Dan. I do think Dan is potentially around with Sprint Burst, but we do not see him. Yep. Oh, we do see him now. Yep, he's using this double window to his advantage, and he's running into the loop. We could potentially see another down, but he expects the medium vault, not knowing that he was going to double back. Dan is going to go down. Spitz is going to be picked up, but Spitz is going to be going down. Pedro's still on top of this pallet right now. We're going to be looking at a slug play. Could potentially see a 3-man slug, and Kexo, no sight onto him, whatever. But no, the down comes through onto Pedro. 3 people down on the floor. Where is Kexo? And it seems like no, Xeno's not going to be worrying about that at all, potentially letting him pick up Dan, as it is just going to be the hook onto Spitz. He doesn't have to go for no crazy 4-man slug play, just a 4K at 3-man. Oh, well,
yeah, that is going to be the win con met, so they're going to go ahead and give that one up. It was a valiant effort. They made this match. They really strung it out to try to get the best result possible. Unfortunately, that did cost them a bit of their gen pressure, and eventually they still did end up giving the win con there, but it was really fun to watch them try to deny that last hook, and they did for a long time, to be fair. But when you have 3 survivors playing with the killer, it really slows the match down an incredible amount there. And Xeno is no fool either. You know, he's aware of exactly what the survivors need to do, and he's going to play around that, and he did quite well. I have to say, he gave them absolutely no chance to save, and that is going to be the win for Cynic in this second set. So we're going to be making things 1-1 here, and we're going to be taking it to the Oni set on Leary's, as we hear the 4 synchronized screams there. This will be Oni and Leary's. Like I said, it's a bit of a stealth set. Oftentimes we see the killers bring something like Trail of Torment or Unforeseen to try to become undetectable. So we'll see exactly what comes up there. But I mean, this happens. I feel like this happens more often than it should, but we see the first two sets going to the teams that didn't pick it. So I don't know if that's a result of these teams just being very evenly matched, these teams practicing a lot against these sets that they knew that they were going to play, or what. But a great performance, I have to say. And we're in for a very good matchup, I think.
Indeed, man. Well, that being said, I honestly think that this is kind of a... I mean, no, it's like you said, man. This is very even. This is definitely going to be a tough bout, as we're seeing kind of players from different teams kind of coming together, like to familiarize themselves with kind of like the fight of the grand finals once more. So what Sorry?
We talked about earlier, you mentioned about how some of these players on Cynic had maybe not played as much together before, as they had a bit of an EU Cynic roster, so to speak. Some of these players that were not formerly members of Cynic or whatever it was, but they played that Xenomorph set really well. They played very altruistic. They had good chases. I mean, expected to have good chases. Everyone in the finals at this point is good 1v1 players. But they had good teamwork. They had good like rotations around the map, and they put on a really good result. Obviously, I mean it was a 3-stage game, so that was really cool to see as well. Just players that you don't always see playing together, getting such a nice performance.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Jolie and Zach?
I was not expecting the 3-stage on the first match. I was sort of expecting kills to be had. It was very surprising to see that happen. More due to Survivor coordination than anything else. Not saying that the killer played poorly. It was really just good coordination for the Survivor side. And then the 4K there looked a bit more like a desperation play from the Survivors. Now I know they needed that, but that's what it felt like.
Yeah, I can probably see that. Well, I mean, that's kind of what you have to do in those types of cases. There's not much you can do in general situations where you are kind of oppressed to go for a specific result, because you definitely do want to win always. You're playing like the grand finals of a tournament. You can't just, go into everything like half-assed and think that, we'll lose this set, but we'll just win the next one. Like, you can't go into there with that mentality. You have to go in with the mentality that you can win every single set, and you always have to try to do so. After all, what are you going to lose by, trying to go for some crazy win con, especially with 3 stages? That's very difficult for, I'd say, any team to go out and beat, So definitely a lot of like risky plays will be made in order to try and preserve their momentum of winning the game.
Yeah, and we talk about momentum in general. For teams when they get into a situation where you're going from 3 stages to 4K3, like that does something to you in your brain. Like no one's immune from that. Like not even like the top players, especially when you're now going in from your Survivor side to playing Survivor again as well. Like that's something that actually does hold volume, especially in games like this where you have a lot of games being played and these teams are like it's almost like a mental battle, especially because it comes down to a point of consistency too. Like for me, that Xenomorph set, it was so like one-sided each time. Like I mean Invictus had like a good run, but the 3 stages into the 4K3, like I almost called it like it goes one way or the other, and I don't know, like it's got to feel bad for, I guess, when you, for them, when you've lost it, it's no point playing, right? And I do feel like sometimes they do take that mentality when there's a win con involved, but it's never nice to have like really one-sided battles, especially in this game where it's at such a high level, right? So I do wonder if maybe that will bleed into the Oni set, no pun intended. So I don't know, Julie, what you think, but this is definitely a different set, like completely different to what we've just seen.
It's going to be a different kind of beast. Where you don't have to worry about the M2 the same way you have to worry for Xenomorph, right? There's going to be a plethora of pallets being thrown down simply from the denial of that first hit.
Yeah, but make no mistake, Oni M2 is quite fierce as well. Not in the same way as Xenomorphs is, but it certainly is the turning point usually in these Oni sets, whether or not the killer players can get value and get a quick down or two potentially out of their M2, and the faster they get it as well, the more power they save, the faster they snowball. It really builds up pressure that way.
Yeah, and at least you can use pallets against you.
Right, exactly. if you're on one side and the killer's on the other, Xenomorph can hit you, Oni cannot.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Right.
When one of you said that it's kind of like Huntress, that's the first thing that popped into mind is you cannot use pallets.
Yeah, you just kind of have to keep running. Unless you feel like you have enough distance so that you can still dodge the Xenomorph. Like, it's a measure of distance too, right? So it's so like it's kind of specialty almost a little bit, like making sure you know how much distance you have.
Can you dodge it by going on the high side of the pallet or no?
You can. I think there's a way to get around that though now. Like I feel like it was a very early mechanic that people would use, but I don't think it works anymore. at
It's a
least.
bit of a drag mechanic with Xeno's tail attacks, kind of similar to the Nemesis when he can, strafe and whip. But you can do it
Yeah.
vertically as well with Xeno's tail. As it kind of passes over the pallet, you can hit a little bit lower than your line of sight. It's kind of an interesting mechanic. It makes it very hard. Don't get me wrong. Hitting on the high side certainly harder than hitting on the low side. But these guys are quite good at what they do.
Yeah, I feel like Xenomorph is such a tilting killer in general too, because it feels like you're just you're powerless as well. Like you drop that pallet, there's nothing you can do to stop this hit coming, and then that's also just how many pallets in the game? That's 30. I don't know. I feel there's like 10 different situations of frustration happening in one game. I don't know. Depends as how it goes, I suppose. But damn, yeah.
There's always a way to prevent it. Get good.
Yeah, or maybe not, but I don't know. Anyway, we're getting into the Oni set now, so interesting to see how Larry's Memorial Institute interacts with this killer, or the other way around, I suppose.
Grim, Eruption, Corrupt, and Trail. Very little regression, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know, it's a bit of a... It's like Xeno's got his hand in like 4 different pies. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, he has the synergy of Eruption and Trail, but how that works with Grim, or at least, not initially. I don't know. That's an interesting one. I guess indoor, Trail of Torment, I can see the vision there, but Eruption Grim, I don't know. Is another case of Xeno maybe picking an array of perks that... I guess a 2 and 2
strikes me weird because your comp is very much kill one person out of the game as fast as possible.
Yep.
And with Grim, you want to spread out that pressure and not do that. So that's why I feel like it's a bit counterproductive to what you'd actually want. Okay, so they know for a fact that this is Trail of Torment.
It's a good opportunity to deny hits on this map. The Trail of Torment, yeah. Again, maybe the Trail of Torment in power, trying to just go around the map, catch people off guard. Is that the plan, you think? And then you can get Grim stacks that way?
Yeah.
Just to give himself a bit more time.
We're using a lot of resources.
Yeah, they want to deny this hit as much as possible. You can clearly see. It's a very easy map. I want to say it's a very easy map to do it on too, because I feel like it's such an abundance of pallets. But yeah, these rotations, like you pass through a doorway spawns, you go around a corner, and then you're just stuck in a bit of a situation like this where you just have to kind of concede it. There's a few areas of this map where you're very, very safe, but then there are like situations where the killer can come at you from all angles.
Light being used there.
Yeah.
Giving Spitz the much needed distance, because that would have been a hit. There you go, another pallet being dropped. Are we going to see any shower teching? That would have been...
In my DVD. Oh,
wow!
He gets a hit. He just swings through. Spitz doesn't get the vault in time. But that's power now, so we'll see. He's got... Okay, so his trail's gone. Unless it's a bug. Yeah, he's got his eruption.
It's going to be reapplied here.
Yeah. Kicks it, and we'll see. Let's see how these 2 perks. So let's see how it goes. Whether they take the stance of just not doing anything until they see where he is, or if we can catch them off guard for a rotation. This is what we've This is what we speculated through the through the pre-game. I guess the pre-best of 7 talk that we had.
Balance getting used. Trail got off really quickly. Yeah, the Nancy, I think, was right on point immediately.
Yeah, look, just staying by pallet, staying to safety. Because he's on a timer, like, his power's almost out.
Oh, not that.
No. That was close, man. Yeah, no value from that power whatsoever. Like you said, actually, the trail went straight away, so they immediately got rid of it because they know an undetectable Oni in Larry's with power is not a good thing to let happen. So
yeah,
again, this is exactly what we saw in the Wraith set, right, Joey? It's them just reacting to his bucks and just not letting him get any value. It's just such a, I mean, I guess standard thing to do, but for these guys, they're just not like giving him any room whatsoever. I mean, apart from now where he's already in chase, but yeah, like just not giving Xeno any sort of room for to catch them off guard.
Yeah, but the resources are very much running thin.
Yeah, in this area for sure. They had chases before. I do wonder what's left on the map. They had that pallet there. And there's a few here and there, but they'll have specific areas they'll want to chase, right? They'll be calling that out. Also, nice value on the blood orb, the add-on that he's using. I forget its name, but the one that gives aura when you pass through your blood orbs.
The eerie one.
Again,
the
there.
eerie
Look,
one.
yeah, there. Imagine like a Trail of Torment power with aura reading. He's getting so much value from it right now.
I think it's mandatory to run this.
That is.
Oh my god, there is no way this just happened. He fakes it 3 times. What are you going to do now? Ooh, you do have
He
this
should make
pallet
that.
here. Does he want to run it this side? Does he want to run it the other side? Trail is over. That was the Nancy, 100%. Oh. First hook of the match. But Trail is going to get reapplied. And they know where the Nancy is. There you go. There we got Grim Embrace. Like, it gives you some time, but it's like you lose a bit of time too, because you want to reapply the Trail as soon as possible.
Wait for his eruption first. Get full use out of the perks.
Gonna power up, probably. I mean, I'm surprised that Spitz hasn't healed. Like, giving away so many free orbs, so much free information. He also hasn't powered up. Oh. Does he hope to catch them off guard? Yep. Oh, but it's the injured survivor. Doesn't really matter. He's going to go immediately back because the gen got popped. He wanted to stop that gen getting popped, so a bit of a no-no there. Who got the save? I don't know, but we're going after him.
That was so close. That was so close.
I don't know how that missed.
Yeah, it was almost like he hit him on his ankles. I don't know. But Kexo now is going to go down eventually. Just to the Demon Slam, I forget what it's called. His Demon Dash, and then there's that. But gonna be another fresh hook. Little stack of Grim.
Grim stack. I was talking poorly about it, but currently 2 stacks. If we see all 4, I would be very surprised, but it's super good for the killer. And once again, there's the Trail.
Yeah, it's like a routine, right? It's, Trail's gone. And the good thing is about Grim, obviously, is one of his first stacks. Like, it wasn't having the 4th stack on the Obsession is always a bit of a pain with Grim, but because he already had that hook onto Dan, he's going to be able to get some extra value from that perk too, if he gets his 4th fresh. I mean, that's still yet to be decided, but yeah, 2
because of
2 stacks.
the aura reading portion of the perk.
Yeah.
Getting a bit stuck.
Yeah, this is a bit of a hard tile to play, really. Like, he's be able to make it enough distance around, more so than the Oni can actually turn around. He has the flick angle, but he's not able to actually play that tile. He needs to break that, which he does eventually.
Honestly, I think he could have just immediately broken it with the power and then tried to make something happen.
Yeah, a bit of wasted time for him there, trying to play that unnecessarily.
Oh.
Look at this aura reading. Like, it's constant. I know it's going to, like, they're aware of it, of course. But it does help him out. That was a very nice swing. That was really nice. Reading that Dan's going to vault that.
I mean, he's not going to have many kicks on that gen. That gen has been the only gen to get Trailer Torment value.
Yeah, and that's eventually going to pop. Right, he has a bit of a 3 gen here as far as I saw, but Actually, no. No, maybe it was a hook aura that I'm seeing. I'm seeing demons. But second stage for Dan now. We do have power. We do find Nightlight stealthing, actually. That's the person doing this generator, which is good info for Xeno now. If he can take advantage of that. And he catches the ball too! He flicks backwards. That was
Nice
good.
little prediction. I mean, it was a 50-50. You had to gamble on that. There was someone at the gen, I think. Oh, no. Oh, no.
And a gen just pops, so he knows where everyone is. Gonna see if he can cut off Spitz, maybe going for a rotation rather than the injured Dan. Power's gonna run out, so bit of a blessing for the survivors, but that's 2 people on the floor. Nightlight now gonna be hooked for a 3rd stack of Grim Embrace. But this could be the snowball Xeno needs.
Who's the last stack, actually?
I think it's Spitz, right?
Wasn't Spitz's first hook?
It was either... Oh, did Kexo rescue? It must be Kexo then. I see Spitz is healed, so I wasn't sure. Oh.
He hasn't kicked it yet. There you go.
Oh.
That's the gen that... Oh. Oh, but lied, yeah. Like, you played good, but lied just says no.
Getting a lot of value out of that window, despite Xeno's mind games, and he just swings around these pallets. He is leaving himself so open to auto aim on these door frames. Like the precision in his movement of his mouse is clearly showing. Because I don't know, I would have hit that door frame at least. But yeah, now we have
the
4
difference.
threes. Oh, but that's it. Adrenaline onto Spitz and all 4 gens now. So
4 hooks on the board. Can we make it 5? Also, the fact that Trailer Torment just gets deactivated is pretty bad.
yeah, this is his last real chance for power. So ideally, he wants to get his fresh hook survivor here. You see some scratch marks, but again, this is a very hard tile to really play if you just hold W around it. Like, unless the only does some sick mind game, these players aren't going to fall for that. Nightlight in chase, holds the corner, doubles back, finds the vault too. Gonna live to see another day, and that's the power gone. He is injured. He is 1 hit away from death. But the gate's open, and it is at this one that was over here. Yeah, he's kind of zoned away a little bit. He's going to need a bit of a body block from Spitz. And you can see them. Looks like they're resetting.
There they are. There they are.
Oh, he's just out. Never mind, yeah.
Yep.
Damn, what a strange game. I felt like this had all of the chances to go completely wrong for the survivors, but they played it so well.
But communication was on point, I see. Even after that little snowball of his, communication was on point, and I do feel like he should have went for Kexo instead of the Atom, because he knew where Nightlight was. And Kexo was all on the ground for a little while longer than Nightlight, and by going for Nightlight, just allowed the pickup from the Nancy. But again, hindsight is 2020. Let's
Yeah. we are the progenitors of hindsight, but it's always interesting to think about how like these things are so close to going wrong. We could speculate, but damn, like they pulled through in the end. And this is the thing, like we spoke about at the start. Oni sets are so volatile, especially when you have the added element of stealth too, with the demon dash and just in general where he's finding himself. Not on map where you have 2 sight of him, but yeah, they didn't really. I feel like he didn't have too much Trail of Torment value. Like the survivors kind of neutralized that stealth element. And then they remained safe where it mattered. They spread the gens and then they chased in the right spots, and it's just classic comp gameplay, you know. Trying to chase away, not giving Xeno any form of opportunity to actually use his power, because they understand the limitations of his power, right? It's very double-edged sword. It's very lethal power, but it's also a lot of things that you kind of have to consider when using it. And I feel like some of those areas they definitely made it very hard for him. But he did have some really good chases. You can't really knock him for that. Like it's definitely impressive on both sides, despite the result maybe not being as many stages as you want.
I mean, Spitz was just like getting rid of Trailer Torment as soon as it was applied. Like he was just on that gen. He lived on that gen for the majority of the match and just kept taking it off constantly.
Yeah.
A bit of a different play, like faking going for one of the survivors and then immediately going back to the gen could have maybe made a difference because you would have been able to preserve that trail for longer. You would have been able to like hook right next to the trail. So you could play that type of angle of just being a stealth Oni for a little while.
It's also securing that regression too, right? Because it is regressing.
But it's a tough map. Like we saw a lot of resources being used early, didn't end up binding them as hard. Although we did see some hits, never against injured survivors, but most of the hits that happened on the healthy ones were on the tiles that we had seen the only completely devastate pallets and then the resources. So
And
Yeah,
think
definitely
that's
some
where
dead zones.
we almost saw that snowball as well, right? We had Kexo and I think Nightlight both downed in the
Yep.
same stretch of power there, and it was like Nightlight didn't really have any resources necessarily to play, but they did get the slug up in time and kind of recover from that. But those are the moments that are scary against an Oni, right? Where he's in power, you've got two people down, someone injured, and it's just like, how do we recover this? But honestly, Invictus recovered quite well. They use their resources as efficiently as I think possible. And the other thing, I think that generator down on the bottom half of the map that he just kept kicking for trail, that Xeno kept kicking, I think was nearly out of regression events. He just kept coming back
Yes.
to it. Something that we see happening more and more in comp, especially with the regression being the meta perks being used, like Eruption and even other kicking perks or Pain Res, whatever. You see gens that hit that regression limit sometimes, and then there's really nothing he can do. They can just start another gen on the other half of the map, and he can't leave that gen because it can't regress. So you put the killer in a lose-lose situation with the regression events sometimes.
You do see a lot of I think that the regression events kind of spurred this multi-use, multi-kick perks, kind of like where you're doing 3 birds with 1 stone with 1 kick. I mean, Eruption, for example, needs 2 kicks to proc, but then you've got the Trail of Torment giving you added value to that. So maximizing that through whatever perk usage. Either way, you see gens being kicked all the time, especially with a perk like Trail and Eruption. So kind of you can say it one side, but then it just results in getting to these scenarios where you've got one gen that just you can't have to leave because it is going to
Yeah.
You see these survivors playing into it, right? Where it's like, yeah, come kick this gen again. Eventually, you just won't be able to stop it as long as we play safe and we don't just get snowballed before then.
Yeah, it's literally a game. It puts the match in the survivor's hand where it's just a game of time. It's one hell of an addition. I really didn't like it when it was first added. And the fact that it's I don't think it's kicks, right? It's regression events.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Eruption always counts as 1. If someone's running Surge, it's going to count as 1. Pop's going to count as 1. Pain Res is going to count as 1. And the kick counts as 1 as well. So, yeah. If it was just kicks, I would have liked it more. You can only kick the gen 8 times, would have been a bit more different than 8 regression events.
I think it would be interesting to see Behavior give us the option to turn it off the same way we can turn off idle crows and some more custom lobby changes.
Wait, you can do that?
I don't think you can now, but I'm asking for it. You know what I mean? That would
Okay.
be interesting if we could bring back the unlimited regressions to comp. I don't know if it would be balanced or if it would be interesting, but I'm here for the chaos.
And then they change Surge, so it matches your terror radius, and everyone is running Wesker with Distressing and Surge.
Exactly.
So that you can immediately hit every single gen, and then you run Oppression so that you can hit every gen again. Oh, good times.
Now, Oppression, I think, is one perk that doesn't actually count as a regression event for the other gens that start regressing, because it doesn't hit them with an initial chunk regression. It only starts them regressing. It's similar to Ruin in that way, where that's actually a perk that I try to slip onto some of my builds when I'm playing just regular matches, is oppression to get around that.
Yeah, same. Oppression pop is I use it a lot. I don't try to slot in eruption in because I know that if you run pop, you want the hooks, and if you want the hooks, you want the downs. Everything makes sense there. But I tend to like to run more info builds on my matches. We are now loading into, I believe it's Cynic.
Should be
no, Invictus killing. Yep. Who is the Oni today? Well, dumb
Pedro.
question, right? It can only be Pedro.
Interesting. Like I feel like Nightlight is so well suited to these like kind of weird stuff, like these weird things. I mean, like even like the Xenomorph, but I know Oni is definitely like a ladder pick too, where it's a lot of chase mechanics and just M1 skills. But given the like the unique thing of the the add-on and trail, I guess. I don't know. It could have been Nightlight's territory too, but yeah, Pedro. I mean, you can't compare with Pedro. Pedro is very consistent.
Holy wow! Angels just ran him throughout the entire map into his corrupted area. Wow. Oh, and Pedro is just bloodlusting this. Oh, this is definitely an interesting tactic. Really? We're just gonna bloodlust this.
Oh,
And I think they realize that they're just gonna get blasted for the first hit. That's an interesting tactic. I've never seen an Oni do that. I have never seen an Oni do that.
I mean, it's doable, right? Because it's such an open. You say it's an open map with a lot of open rooms and like line of sight breakers are a thing, but the amount of distance he's gonna get, like he can do that, I guess. I think he just did. But
it's definitely an interesting tactic, but it could have went wrong real quick had he not found the survivor early on. Because personally, I think he found the survivor really early, and that's Ivan immediately on the ground. Oh, insta pickup. Do we have basement here? No, we don't. We do have a plethora of pain resist to pick. Wow.
I want to say that that first gen came in so fast. I'm thinking maybe someone doubled that potential, or two or doubled that whilst Angels was in chase. I've been getting found so fast. So yeah, like I don't know. This is good early pressure, and all coming through straight away too. And Pedro's right there, so this is gonna be a hit for Ivan. Oh, never mind. He paths him. Gonna stun him in his face. That was well played by Ivan. And is that smash hit? That was some speed right there. Yeah, look at that distance. Must have been. But we're seeing some survivors popping his power. Just immediately popping that power as soon as he gets the aura reading. Grab the safety of this. Oh, actually lands the stun. That's such a risky thing to do. Angels timing it to perfection, especially probably playing on ping right for him. So I don't know.
That was what? Just.
Oh, he's trying to play this tile. He's trying. I don't know.
I mean, he is trying. He is definitely trying, but going for Angels here, I mean, I understand the why you're doing it, because you don't want the... Nice.
I saw that's the second time they've had that standoff this grand finals. Was it Angels and Pedro last time? I don't remember. But yeah, just not paying off.
Oh my god. I thought the ace was gonna come over.
No, second stack of pain res. Only difference being there's no Grim Embrace. It is the pain res. So still looking for those 4 unique hooks, but getting the 20% flat regression instead of the 10 seconds of slowdown. Yeah, 2 hooks so far. 4 gens. I think he can be happy with the pace so far. Does see someone run through a blood orb right there. That's going to be Marcos. But
First
just kind of...
camp we've seen.
Yeah. Maybe he's got the idea that there's not really enough progression for them. Was that someone else going for the unknown? I'm seeing demons. What was that? I saw someone else.
I also thought that I saw, but no, it was just the jeans and the angle.
Yeah,
Because
maybe.
it looked like the ace in the suit coming over, but I think it was just the jeans and the angle.
Yeah. Weird. Look at us losing the plot after 3 sets. But yeah, I guess he just wants to secure seconds. I suppose. What's the 3rd stage? Knows he has enough, I guess, maybe playing for WinCon rather than risking it, maybe. Which I can kind of understand, you know?
It is weird that the servers are allowing this. Like, I get it, you'd have to send 2 people over. But still, giving away that hook...
You have to kind of assess, do you have enough progression on the map to allow someone to be, like, risk of death so early on? So I guess they must think that... I mean, they popped to Gen. Yeah, this one's pretty close too, so there would have been
There's
a 2 gens relatively soon. Save comes through. Still have 3 healthy survivors, but Pedro... He's got some time to work with. Nice reading, Ivan. Ivan, I feel like...
Christ.
I feel like these guys play each other so much, they just know what they're going to do, like, every time.
I mean, he has been winning 50-50s a lot. And he sees the tunnel out. Oh my goodness.
It's bad. He has his pallet for safety. Nice. He plays it a little bit slow, but, I mean, he accidentally clicks into the side of the wall there. Angel's going to make use of this pallet. And look at that. They're down to 1 gen left. Like I said, they did have the progression on the map. And, yeah, Pedro now gonna need to get this down fast. Oh, that was so close, dude. No, and he gets stunned too. Oh my god, not winning that pallet stun off this time. And Pedro realizes that he needs to check on these gen. He has to leave. It took too long now, and they might run away with the game if he does not try and find a survivor here. Not really getting too much trail usage this game. Any hook right now would be very good for his win condition. Yep. So he needs this chase to come through fast. Playing the 50s pallet, that's, you know, just not vaulting. Gonna get hit. Sees Aura off in the distance, off on the left-hand side. Getting a bit of information in the middle of his chase. Wants to apply his trail here. Yeah, and Eruption too. And then again coming through. Xeno's gonna get caught. Oh my way! Misplay now, and that's going to be another pain risk stack, right? As far as I remember.
There's no way that Xeno fell for that. After the trail, I would have. Okay, I mean
that's just the full value coming in, right? That's the trail and add-on value just combining, and just I guess maybe you just wanted to gamble, just thinking Pedro wouldn't. But if he's got aura reading, it's going to go straight to you.
There's the power up again.
Yeah, this is going from bad to worse. The unhook comes through quickly, but he's got such good information on the. Oh, they were in the locker, of course. There's no scratch marks or anything. This is Angels 2 who's going to be dead, and we did see there is some progression, but it's not a massive amount. So still could hold on to that final gen if the chase comes through fast. Needs the flick. Angels tries to go in the corner, and Pedro gets him down. That's going to be Angels leaving the trial. Can they answer it with the last gen, though? Although I'm not too sure.
He's preemptively looking up.
For the flashback. Oh, Xeno. That's what he was looking up for.
I mean, I think it's GG, because it was 4 stages before.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm thinking that this must be the WinCon, regardless of what happens. But... yeah, just playing it out. So that's gonna be Invictus taking 2 sets to 6-1.
And there will be a oh my god!
He misses them. Perk value, Jolie the adrenaline, the perk luck. I mean, it's over anyway, but damn, that's gotta feel bad.
There you go, finally getting the down. I mean, I think we are gonna have a short 5-minute intermission right after this match. sorry, right after this set.
Yeah, we're at the halfway point, so we'll take like a little small break. As far as I understand, that's Xeno going down. The survivors will leave the trial, and Invictus is going to feel good taking this set.
Yeah,
Coming up after the break, we have
2-1.
I believe, yeah, 2-1. Now going into the Demogorgon set, maybe even see a bit of Rocket play on that if he's not asleep. I don't know. See you time. It's late. It's late over here. But yeah, don't go anywhere. We'll be back after a short intermission with the Demogorgon set, going into the fourth set for potential match point going into this best of 7.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here now, back and live at the arcade. I'm your caster, Spectral, joined here by the one and only lovely Jack, who will be taking it alongside me, watching Invictus versus Cynic, with Pedro on the side of Invictus, grabbing the Demogorgon on Azerov's resting place. Now, ARP demo, we've seen this set before, we know how it works, we've kind of noted down all of the potential results here that could happen, but out of which result do you think Pedro can pull off here, Jack?
Yeah, so it is demo, it is ARP, as you said. So we have an eye-shaped map here and a killer that can teleport top to bottom, left to right, and he's trying to hold the crosshair, it looks like, as the survivors have decided they don't want to fully wait out this corrupt. They want to go ahead and send someone down to the bottom half of the map and initiate the chase here. You do sometimes see like as good of a result for the killer as a 4K1 on a map like this, where they can hold a bit of a 3-gen. We do have the pop eruption combo as well as a really nice quick shred there. Does get a tag on Xeno pretty early at this filler pallet, and is he going to be able to make anything? No! He's actually going to be going down right next to the main building, so a good first chase here from Pedro. And like I said, it just depends on kind of your gen spread. You can sometimes secure as good of a result as a 4K1, but usually you're going to see outs in a Demogorgon set, as he's not the strongest killer. It does look like maybe the 4-gen, the heavier side of the map, is this top side as well. So we'll likely see Pedro really try to just stick himself on this side of the map and not cross over towards Shack very far at all if he can help it.
And it seems like Ivan is going to be taking the chase fairly close to the hook. The save is going to come through. Xeno is going to be free. We do see the save coming through from Marcos, but Xeno's going to be instantly running over towards main, as Pedro's going to be focusing on this completely. He has his pal here to work with. He's probably going to preemptively set up the shred. No, he's trying to zone him before he actually ends up going for the shred, and it seems like zoning him towards this window, which he's going to be unable to make without any pressure, is going to be the kill and the down onto Xeno, as he completely fakes him out and just goes for the M1 tag. No reason to go for anything fancy, as he's only going to have at least a chance to miss there. And we are going to see the eruption there go off on 2-2. So I feel like, honestly, man, this is smooth sailing. He's getting tapped up right now. Xeno is going to have to get some support from his team, or just a very good chase. But, I mean, dude, look at where he's being hooked. He has nothing to work with.
Yeah, Cynic really is going to have to help Xeno make it out of this half of the map if they want to try to pop any of these gens on this side. He's so deep in the top half of the map right now, and Pedro just displaying his ladder skills, his 1v1 skills, his chase on the demo killer, and just getting quick hits. I was really surprised actually to not see any hit takes coming through, especially with such a quick unhook, and now we see another unhook come through relatively early. They know they need to get out of this half of the map. But how much progress can they really have on the other half? Yeah, they're really trying to attack this 4-gen early.
I mean, let's be honest, probably not too much. I don't think they're too worried about it. At some point, they are going to have to, you know, of course, to get these gens, because it's 3 gens we're talking about. 3 free gens. You don't want to get 4K at 4 now, do you? So we're going to have to probably get... Well, I mean, honestly, a big start is probably Xeno getting an insane chase here. Pedro losing the 50-50. He's going to get an incredible amount of distance, able to get him over towards his bus. But the bus is actually not even going to be the focus of the chase. Instead, we're going to be going on top of the hill. Could be potentially be seeing a balance as he drops off from the long side. He completely zones him from Shack, running around the back side of it. He's going to make it over towards the Shack pallet for free. And we could see a fast down there. He shreds it quickly. Good angle there. Is able to grab him, as it seems like he's going to be going for that mind game. Wins a little bit of distance against Xeno, which might be able to get him this down. And unfortunately, Xeno is unable to cut it close enough, as he doesn't play the corner check spot, and instead decides to go for the window, which ends up unfortunately losing him that 50 as Pedro double backed just before he was able to make it to the check spot in time. So he was unable to see him until he was able to react, which is definitely like a killer like demo is not a killer you want to react to. It's because it's very difficult to
very fast attack, right? Like
yeah,
if
very,
you're caught
very
out of
difficult
position,
to
you really
react.
have to hold your check spots against this killer.
So
And that's
definitely a
gonna be
lot
death
of
4.
yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie, this is already looking incredibly difficult. Pedro checking around the 12 side edge to see if he can find a survivor that is potentially stealthing, but he travels all the way down towards the bottom side of the map to find a survivor, and it seems like we do see Ivan here. Ivan running off towards mid.
Now, something Pedro could do here, interestingly enough, they broke the 4-gen, but now you just have a 3-gen on both sides, and the generators on the top half of the map have been progressed quite a bit. The gen spread pretty tight up there, but honestly, I wouldn't hate the play of Pedro just trying to flip the map here and saying, you know what, I got my like value out of that half of the map, and then he can play his corrupted gens for the second half of this match, where all the gens basically on the Shaq side of the map weren't able to be worked for that first chase, and now they're definitely like less progressed than things over here, but looks like he's playing a bit more aggressively, looking for survivors, trying to work on these generators, trying to get it down with his eruption available, and you know, demo without bamboozle as well as that kind of made that Shaq play even more impressive to me, as the survivor's doing a good job of stealthing here and not getting found. Pedro doing anything he can, checking lockers, can't even find a survivor here. And that's just going to be free gen progress elsewhere. I mean, they're not healing. They're definitely working gens somewhere. And Pedro needs to find them soon.
Seems like at the moment we are going to be staying around the bottom side of the map. We did see, however, we do see scratch marks here. There's a bit of progress here on to the gen near the hill, but it seems like Marcos is going to be showing himself quickly taking this vault. He's trying to look for an opportunity to dodge away, trying to use his speed to catch Pedro off guard, but Pedro, playing it off of reaction time, is able to grab that tag with the shred. He's going to be running over towards the middle of the map, which is honestly a fair place to, take chase. It's away from both 3 gens, and he's unable to die in one perfectly. So maybe there's not going to be a incredibly oppressive hook here, but oh my god. He almost jiggies away. He's going to be able to make it over towards his pal. However, Pedro, unable to punish it, is going to find him, and they lost 50-50 as Marcos tries to run around the killer and is unable to, so he ends up going down on to the top 3 gen, but it seems like we're going to be bringing him towards the pain res near the bottom, as this is going to be the first stage of this game.
Yeah, that was a nice chase. I mean, the middle of this map is certainly not an ideal place to die, but it can be a really strong place to take chase, as a lot of the fillers, if you're not at a tile on the rest of the map, are kind of just, the pallets are not that strong. It's filler pallets that you can sometimes play around, but the middle map having some pretty strong tiles there can be tough for demo to play, especially without bamboozle like we saw on the build. Unhook does come through there. It's going to be Angels getting the unhook onto Marcos, and now Pedro has to decide if he wants to play for another tunnel out or fresh hooks, and it looks like he's going to be committing to Marcos, the injured survivor. Lyde does come out there, and he's going to be making it away from the bottom half of the map. And caught there in the mid-map, a good 50 there from Pedro is going to secure the down, and we're going to go for the slug play. He wants to slow this down more, it looks like. Maybe not. Thinking maybe there would be a survivor working on that generator over by 8, but they are letting that one go, and they now have a pretty good gen spread. They have 2 gens top side, 2 gens bottom side, so they're not going to make it easy for Pedro here. I think if these survivors keep playing well, keep playing a bit careful and not giving free tags, we could still see all gens pop in this match.
I'd have to agree.
I know there's a decent amount of progress on at least 3 gens at this point. 3 of the 4 gens that are left. Or maybe not decent progress here, but
and we find Angels around Shaq. It seems like we're not going to be committing to this. Instead, we're going to be going forward to the portal to see if we can maybe zone them away from the top side of the map. He does have the undetectable status effect to support him for just a bit, so maybe he can catch somebody off guard as they are going to be running into him. However, they do have a loop to work with. We do see the 2 survivors here. That's going to be both Ivan and Marcos, I believe. Or wait, is it, sir, just Marcos? Maybe Marcos.
I'm not sure if Ivan rotated with him.
Ivan wasn't there.
That was a really far teleport from Pedro, but he actually predicted Marcos to just
he found
full send the top half of the map and cut him off pretty well.
Yeah, dude, I was fully expecting Ivan to try and help him out, and it seems like Marcos is going to end up going down. We do hear the survivors down the bottom side screaming with the eruption. And Yo, these TPs are gonna make this like almost impossible to completely defend, as Marcos is gonna be dead, and with Marcos dead, it's a 2v1 versus a like Tema with all the teleports in the world to work with, and they're trying to double the gen,
playing for
seeing
that
it
gen.
missing on top of Ivan. He's gonna go for the tag with Barb's glasses to get himself, no, it's not Barb's glasses. Sorry, that's Black Heart getting him a quick double shred there.
That was a crazy crazy dodge there at the gen to not give the tag,
Yeah.
but we do end up getting the down eventually. And now maybe looking at the 4K1, it's not your typical 3 gen one side of the map 4K1, but it's gonna be tough. Angel's is gonna have to play really carefully if he wants to get a chance to get Ivan up here. We might be slowing things down, but at any point Pedro could also just pick up the slug and take a pain res.
Yeah.
And just basically nuke any progress they do have. It looks like that is the option we're gonna go for. And then he just needs to find Angels, right? He can check his gens. He can't entirely just camp this out, right? If he doesn't know where Angels is, so he has to play into a bit of his game sense here, which Angel's going to be doing as weird of hiding as he possibly can to try to make it elsewhere on the map and not be found by Pedro here. Checking all around the edge map, he's not going to spot Angels just yet. And I mean, Angels has the option of trying to pressure a gen or trying to get the unhook. You can't. I think you kind of have to go for the unhook eventually, because Pedro's gonna have to check his gens eventually, right? And yeah, there's the unhook coming through. Like the full hook timer of a survivor on their first stage is enough to get a complete gen done.
We're finding Angels here around the top side of the map. He's currently on top mid. He does have this pallet to work with. We could see Pedro instantly shredding it to attempt to take him out, but it seems like Angels is opting to play it safe, going around, maybe going to be seeing a mind game here, but no, he decides to go around the longer side of the loop, going down towards the bottom side. Good loops here from Angels. He's going to be using the TNL wall to distance himself back down to the other 4 wall, and it seems like we're kind of missing a lot of opportunities to shred here. We could see a bit of progress onto a gen. Good miss there on, as Angels is going to be running around the rock, expecting Pedro to full follow, but unfortunately the prediction is currently wrong, and we could be seeing a 2-tap. He goes for that shred directly through the doors and is going to find the down. Insane shred there from Pedro, as now this is going to be the final hook, I believe, for Painters as well. So that is all fresh, is completely out of the game. Even though they're technically still in it, there is, let's be honest, a almost near impossible comeback here that Ivan's going to have to pull off.
Yeah,
by
you have
getting
to
Angels
suspect
off of
Ivan
hook.
was topside here on one of these 2 gens, and I see a crow landing actually that kind of confirms to me that he was topside. I don't know where he is straight off to.
Oh, man,
we
we
do
see
spot
him
him here. And
on
that's
the
going to secure the
funnel
4K1, I
gen.
believe. That was very well played from Pedro. Getting that quick tunnel out definitely hurt the hurt the survivors of Team Cynic here, and they're going to have their work cut out for them on Killer.
Indeed, man.
Nice vault.
Oh, and the tea bags, man, coming out of nowhere. We're gonna be seeing Ivan's final chase. Is he's gonna lose? No, he's not. He's gonna win another 50-50. He wins another one. On top of that, the 3rd vault coming through. This is gonna be fully blocked. He's forced to go over towards the 2nd window. Ends up missing that with the crouch. He comes through. Another double vault coming through as oh my God, Pedro's getting juiced up right now by Ivan, and Ivan runs into the killer with Pedro coming back with an insane. Ooh. DCing here in the grand finals. This is not a scrim. I'm not certain what that means here. I mean, necessarily it doesn't matter. It's still a 4K1, but, well, yikes. I don't know, that kind of killed like the entire momentum of the cast there, Jack.
Yeah, no, it comes to an abrupt halt there, but regardless, we do end up with a 4K1 result, so not the greatest sportsmanship, but we will continue to play this out. I mean, 4K1, tough result to beat, like I said, for the killer of Team Cynic. Sorry, getting a 4K2 on an M1 basic killer like demo can be nearly impossible. However, I mean, crazier things have happened. We've seen some pretty unique results so far today that I certainly wouldn't have predicted. Survivors have been playing absolutely out of their minds so far. as we get this next trial set up. And yeah, what do we have? We have so far Invictus up 2-1, and if they can secure a better result here, that would put them up 3-1 and on match point. As we said earlier, they will be on the verge of winning this entire tournament at that point.
Oh, okay, sorry. Jesus, I am starving right now, Jack. I'm gonna go ahead and head down to the lunch table, go grab something to eat because I am I have barely eaten anything all day. So honestly, going into this was probably a slight mistake, but I will be back very shortly. For me, coming in is Zach, as he will go ahead and take this with Jack and make sure that everything is running smoothly. So big thank you to him for making sure that everything is okay with us and, you know, allowing me to step away for a minute so I can take a break.
All right, sounds good. And Zach, I don't know what your thoughts are on the 4K1 and Demogorgon set there, but we are going to be heading into the other side of things on ARP. It looks like we're going to have Xeno on Killer here trying to match that 4K1 result.
Also no problem, Spectral. I was actually responding to you, but I was muted, so very good from me. But anyway, yeah, Demo, I don't know. He is a very situational killer when it comes to 4Ks, to be honest, for me. Definitely in this situation, I think that early tunnel out made it much harder for the survivors to kind of claw back. And Pedro is not someone who's going to let that kind of opportunity escape him, especially, you know, when he does get that like such early pressure, and he's already like such a good 1v1 player, so his chases aren't exactly slow. His zoning and his ability to just read his opponent just kind of adds up, you know. And we're talking about individual play style alongside the killer as well. Like he kind of brings out Demo's potential. So yeah, definitely that. But yeah, 4K on Demo, again, we owe it to a strong early game, but also I feel like a killer like this shouldn't be able to perform that well at this level. So yeah, absolutely. Like if you're Invictus, you could be so happy with that. And a 4K2 is even, you know, more difficult, especially because I'm as far as I'm aware, that definitely means you don't have to worry about a 3-gen, right? If you've got a 4-gen spawning on one side of the map, you just do that one side, and then you basically, yeah.
We're just waiting on our spectators to join here so we can get this next trial started. But yeah, I think also the 4K1 was probably like kind of a good result, honestly, for Cynic with as early as that tunnel out was. I did not think that they were going to be able to get down to such a good result, because I think we had Xeno dead at 4, right? So getting another 3 generators done for the rest of that trial in the 3v1 was honestly pretty impressive to see.
It's good, yeah. It was good recovery. It is impressive to see, especially like these guys know exactly how to do it, and I feel like when it gets to a situation like that in game, you do often have players saying, right, we're going to have to play for a 4K1, because if we play for outs, then that changes kind of what we do, and then it's so much harder, especially with 3 survivors. So definitely setting your sight on a result, kind of adjusting to the circumstances is kind of the name of the game, especially for these guys. So yeah, it's nice to see. Yeah, and like you say, it is impressive that they're able to just get into that mindset and execute it under pressure too.
Yeah, I mean, certainly not the result they were probably hoping for when they loaded into that trial, but given the circumstances and the situation they got put in by Pedro, getting some quick downs and hooks, like, you know, they can't be too upset about the recovery there.
Yeah, 100%. So I guess we'll see what Xeno can do on the return fixture. Just waiting for one more spectators to join. Let me just check match stats, see if we can get an extra person in, because
yeah, trying to take care of some technical issues and relying on
it's a
10
problem.
people all at the same time.
Yeah, it's a problem, definitely. I mean, we can, I guess, So we have a 4K2 right now, kind of in the midst for Xeno, but I mean we've got Knight, Deathslinger, and Singularity following this. Deathslinger is another one of those. I compared Deathslinger to Demogorgon, if you'd agree, because you've got this chokehold map, right, where you have death positions, bit of strategy, potential RNG on your gen spawns, but Knight and Singularity, like we have some very different sets coming up after this. Like a win for Invictus here would take them to match point, like you pointed out. So we'd go into that Knight set, essentially a bit of a wild card set that we spoke about, with essentially a set that I don't know. I honestly don't know how much they practice this. Like I don't know what comp player would willingly go into Knight scrims, but it's one of those sets that you can go either way. So if there's any set to go into match point on, I feel like that one's probably like the safest.
I was on a team actually. Funny enough that you say that we had someone who main Knight. They loved playing Knight, and we were like, okay, like we'll go through this, right? We'll practice Knight. We'll get in here, and we scrimmed it, not all the time, but somewhat regularly, so we could try to pick it. But it's rarely in the killer pool, so it's definitely not a set that you see too terribly often, right? But Knight on Suffocation Pit 2 will be an interesting one. We are guaranteed at least that much, even if Invictus does end up taking this demo set, which I would say they are the favorites right now with the current result that they put up in the first trial, right?
Yeah, and I do wonder whether it's in the killer performances of Pedro just being so strong. It's definitely a battle of like really strong because you've got Xeno for Cynic and Pedro. I mean, these guys just clashed in season 10, right? It's like
True.
best of the best, absolutely like pinnacle. And I casted 2 of those grand final sets, so I've seen these guys clash, and it is like they are capable of exactly the same things. But I always give it to Pedro in consistency. I don't know. It's such an argument to be had. Like at least he ended up winning, right? So it's like I eat my own words when I say that, but I don't know. It's when you get to this level, it's definitely comes down to just not just what the killer's capable of, it's also what the players are capable of, which is what we always we look at that when we come into sets. But for Knight, I have no idea what Xeno and Pedro are capable of on that killer whatsoever. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I watched a couple of high tier teams duke it out on the Night Killer on Tarhos, So I'll be interested to see. I honestly don't have any predictions for that. I mean, if anything, I think like we're gonna see a lot of teamwork in that set. You'll likely see survivors trying to take guards for their teammates, but with the way Knight works now, he can cycle his guards. It's not a one single cooldown, so you take one guard, he just puts the next one down. It can be a little bit brutal to try to deal with.
It's definitely a specialty killer, which makes me think maybe it's a Nightlight kind of deal, but I don't know.
Yeah, that is true. However, it was the pick of Team Cynic actually, so they'll be killing first. I'm not sure if that was a Xeno thing, an Angels thing, or what, but we'll see them Cynic killing first on the night.
But enough yapping about Knight. I'm sure people would rather listen to something else, like a demo set, for example, which we're now loading into, which is good. Yeah, I think 4K2 is quite difficult. I do wonder if maybe Xeno tries to go for a tie, potentially, to delay that match point coming through. But yeah, I don't know. He's definitely, if there's anyone that can do something like a 4K2 on demo, it's definitely Xeno. Well, I guess we'll have to. I think for me and you, we're going to be watching this early game closely, right? We need to maybe see if it's the same pace, because if Invictus run away with a strong early game, then I don't think it's going to be easy for Xeno to catch up.
Xeno may be looking for a bit of revenge on Pedro for that quick 2-tap we saw last game when he was kind of caught out of position with no real resources. We'll see if he can channel that into this match. And we are about to load in here. Like we said, it is ARP. A 4K1 is not a totally unusual result here with the eye-shaped map. We'll see what the gen spread looks like. It looks fairly even, if you ask me. We have kind of a 3-gen top bottom and one very central gen in that middle tile, I think, is if my if my depth perception in the video game is correct, yeah, we're right here in this central area. So we'll see what Xeno wants to do. He's going to be holding this cross. We saw him place a portal there on the top half of the map in case he ever needs to use that for the mobility, but trying to hold the cross here and keep these survivors off the gens as long as possible and look for a quick first chase. I haven't spotted anyone yet. At some point, sometimes the survivors will try to just wait out the corrupt intervention. A really early pallet throw comes down and Xeno lands on top of it. Looks like we're taking chase with Dan here. And yeah, he's gonna have enough distance to make Shaq here.
Well, that was close, actually. I mean, I missed that. I don't know if it was maybe just my screen share, but yeah, first chase at Shaq. Oh, he actually crosses back over the door, expecting a mind game. Oh, and he catches the ball in, reading down like a book. Xeno gonna get a nice early injury. And also, if you just look at that top puck there, Jack, with the forced hesitation.
Yeah, Xeno bringing something that we didn't see in the last trial. Forced hesitation can be really dangerous if the survivors are not prepared for it and they start trying to play a bit altruistically. However, they have a pretty good win con here. I don't think they would necessarily have to play into like taking downs for each other, but certainly if things come down to hook trades and getting a lot of tags, that can snowball a match really quickly.
This is exactly what Xeno needs in the face of an early down. And if he can get to one of these gens with pop, maybe, and just like use of game sense in terms of trying to get himself over there to stop these gens that are being worked on. 5 gens still. 1 is surely about to pop,
middle
right?
gen is so high progress, but it looks like that's going to be Spitz pre-leaving this at the tear radius. He does not want to give free tags, and staying healthy against an M1 killer can just absolutely derail. The fake teleport though, as Spitz was trying to rotate back. The unhook does come through though. Spitz doesn't get tagged, so Xeno almost got away with a cheeky play there, but we are going to see him have to go back and try to continue this tunnel out. Looks like it was Pedro that actually pulled the unhook, and Dan stealthing away, trying to not get found here. Is he back here by Shaq? I think I saw a bird fly up. And yeah, we do find that is going to be Dan on the edge and another quick down. That's exactly what Xeno needs to keep this pace up exactly.
This is the storyline that Xeno's hoping for. They popped 2 gens, but such early progress and pressure like this, I imagine Kexo probably took over the gen that the Pedro was working on right there. So I'm sure Xeno's probably thinking, oh, there's not too much on the map. Like, if we can get this kill out the way. It really depends if the survivors split the map well enough.
Kiki portal there as well. He's going to get the killer instinct off of the survivors, trying to pressure this gen nearby the basement. That's going to be Kexo and another pallet coming out. He might be zoned a bit. I think that's a tag. Tries to crouch to the side, not quite able to get there. We're going to go back and use our pop now. We've spotted Spitz as well. And the unhook, so we know where all 4 survivors are at this point. We're going to teleport to that back portal. Or are we going straight into Shaq? Straight into Shaq it is.
This is perfect for Xeno. He knows he has rough control of this entire area. So having all survivors in here, he knows exactly what he has to work with. He needs to find Dan, or he's found Dan. He needs to get the early tunnel out. And imagine
he would love to get this down before that gen pops, though. We don't have eruption, and that's going to be a hit take from Pedro, playing altruistically here to get Dan out of there.
A black heart's going to mean that the shred cooldown. He's going to make it to mid-map. Does he send it up there? No, another hit tank coming in. So this will be all 4 survivors injured. Look at how much pressure they're having to give up to keep Dan alive. Keeping Dan alive has got to be their priority right now. I do totally agree with this, because the only way that Xeno meets that win condition is with 3 survivors alive. So I appreciate Invictus's goals here. That's a 3rd gen completed. Now Xeno cannot let any gens get done whatsoever, but the problem is we have a split map. Unfortunately, the survivors have split the map successfully. Dan is going to be going down. The reset's happening. So we'll just have to see how this plays out, and if Xeno can do something about this situation. It's going to be so much harder now because of what the survivors have managed to do. Getting a split map as well under the circumstances as well is just super impressive, for me. I don't know.
Yeah, they perfectly did that. You're right, where they did a gen on the top half, the bottom half, and they got the central gen done all as the first 3 gens. Kexo tries to crouch, but Xeno was ready for that as he aimed just wide enough to secure the shred hit there, and that is going to be another survivor down. Do we decide to take Kexo basement? He might have been able to make that pain res, but it was quite far. He is going to just end up taking this survivor down into the basement, and he can't really afford to camp this at this point. We have 2 survivors, and they could both be on the other side of the map. We have that split map, so we have 2 gens quite far away, and I suspect there's probably going to be a survivor still on this half of the map trying to lurk in here for the pull while Xeno does cross back over. But maybe not too much progress, as they did have to go for the full reset, like you said. You know, they probably don't have too much gen progress at this point. I'd be surprised. I'd be really impressed if they popped another gen in the next few seconds. So we'll see Xeno crossing back over to the top side here. I see a crow. That's going to be Spitz, who was working that gen. He sees the amount of progress there and doesn't even want to commit to like chasing Spitz at this point. He's looking for Pedro, maybe trying to catch a cross. And yeah, he's going to time the TP perfectly as the unhook comes through.
Oh wow, that is like everything right now is going right for Xeno. Like pretty much anything you could hope for in a set like this, he is making full use of it too. So if there's anyone that can do it, it's him. It's because he knows exactly what to do in any scenario, really. Like he's seen them all, and he catches Kexo on the vault. Dude, the precision, and Kexo just completely like a demo magnet right now for Xeno. Like just taking every single shred. Does he opt for the pain res now? It looks like he will. He does have enough distance, and is he able to stop that gen at the top that Spitz is working? Does he have enough time? He is going to get it in time. And I do wonder if he rushes straight over there, maybe for a pop goes the weasel, to just completely erase the progress that they have. And this is the thing with the 3v1. It's like you don't have too much efficiency on the gens. And when you get into a situation where you just have pop goes the weasel again and again and again and again, it can be so draining for the survivors. And yeah, we'll just have to see if they can keep it up. They do finish the gen anyway, just work through that flat regression. Xeno maybe playing for tie, like I speculated. But a tie is very possible in these circumstances, especially with Pedro down.
Yeah, it looks like he's spotted Spitz after the gen did complete. Spitz take him to the Z wall, make something happen. Otherwise, this is going to be a tie. I think that's probably the most likely scenario here. We're taking chase around main building. This will probably be the final chase of this game. No Unbreakable going to be allowed against the Demogorgon. Honestly, we've seen these survivors put up such insanely good results against some really strong killers, and then Demogorgon of all the killers in these sets is the one that ends up pulling off back-to-back 4Ks. So that is funny to me. But yeah, Kexo gonna be ending up dying there. Are we playing for a hatch play? Are we just trying to cut Spitz off? I'm confused by this play.
Oh, there's the fresh bleed out, potentially.
True, he does need to make sure he finds Pedro. The fresh bleed out would actually swing, I believe, in favor here. I believe the fresh bleed outs do matter.
Oh, just adjusting himself in his chat.
So he gets the tag on the Spitz, making him a lot harder to track and find. But at this point, you have to worry about Spitz getting on the last generator, right? I mean,
yeah, it's like, oh, where is he? What's that portal location?
So it looks like he's found Pedro.
Him. Yeah, he finds him, and this is a pain res. It's in range of the pain res too. So even if Spitz did get on a gen, it's gonna be erased.
Yeah, he did not have enough time, right? Opting to take the hook right next to Shaq, but again, like you don't have enough time to just camp this out. You have to go check the gen on the far side of the map, and that's exactly where
Xeno's where they get this done. It depends on how much progress they had. He's got Pop Goes always also. I mean, that's
it depends on where Spitz is. It looks like he's vaulted something.
Yeah, he lived towards hook. Yeah,
he's gonna use his live to get there for the unhook in time. Now, I mean, he can let Pedro bleed out all day long.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do in this scenario. There was a chance, but as you know, recognizing that the bleed out is actually the wild card that they need.
Goes for the save. That was almost an angle. That would have been crazy. In the comp corner as well. I don't know if they would have made anything, but It would have been fun to see, and that will be the 4K1 to 4K1. We are going to end up tying in this set 4. So we are now guaranteed to make not only the night set 5, but also the 6th set, which will be Deathslinger. So these teams definitely putting up a fight. Remember, they need to secure 4 sets for the win to take the full match. So good result there from Xeno. I love watching good Demogorgon gameplay, and this was pretty textbook by both teams. They got their tunnel out and they were able to secure the 3v1. Good use of the portals for the mobility, as you know, Demogorgon is notably not the most mobile killer in the game, but good use of that to kind of pressure all areas of the map. So that was really nice to see. So now we get to a less common set, like we were talking about right before that. We're going to be playing the Knight on Suffocation Pit 2, and it's going to be the choice of Cynic. So they'll be killing first. We will get to see some Tarhos Kovacs gameplay here on Arkade's League in the grand finals here between Invictus and Cynic. Some very good players, and we'll get to see how they want to, you know, counter and play against a killer you don't see too commonly.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's with the knights, guards, and zoning. I mean, of course, the killer changes too. Like, it wasn't always in this state. Like the changes they made to the proximity of the guards. So opting like a lot of thought process involved in the micro of this killer, like where you place your guards, trying to predict where your survivors are going to go. And I mean, I feel like it's survivor pathing and movements on this in comp, I feel, is a bit more routine than maybe normal games. Like, you're always trying to reach a certain area, right? So if knowing your opponents is anything, that is also something we can consider for this night set. But yeah, like you say, it's just really unusual, and I don't know. I feel like it's going to come down to the individual's knowledge of this killer.
Yeah, Knight's a killer that, like, a lot of times your average DBD player doesn't always understand the counters and how to play against a killer like the Knight. Like, and I think that also comes down to the number of changes that he's been through, right? So, like, they don't always know, and he can be a bit of a pub stomper. But in a comp setting, these guys have studied the game. They know, you know, exactly what's going on, and then they know the counterplay, how to play around the guards, how to manipulate the AI. And so I think it's always fun to watch you know, a team that is communicating with each other and doing all the proper counterplays. And I've learned several things that I can do against killers like the Knight that have gone through changes, and I didn't, you know, maybe I didn't always read all the patch notes, but watching these top teams play, you can definitely learn something about how to play around these killers and their power.
Yes, indeed. And I'm very, very curious to see how this is going to set. It's going to be Spectral come in to sub me out for one set, just for the one set I took. He's gonna pay back the love I gave to him for this one demo set. But yeah, I feel like you guys have got you and Jolie, you've got an interesting set to cast at least. I'm curious for your opinions on this killer in general. Like, what do we think? I know he's definitely been played in Arcade before, especially earlier in the season. But do we see anything in particular in those sets that maybe we could consider for this time around?
I think it'll be really. I'll be really curious to see if there's a secret Knight player on Cynic or something. It does look like it will be Xeno again playing the killer. So I don't know if he's been practicing his Knight gameplay. I think he's probably too busy playing other killers in tournaments. But you know, you never know what we could see here.
There is a secret Knight player. I can confirm that there is a secret Knight player, and it is me. I am playing for them.
Actually,
and I just take off my shirt, and there's their logo on my chest. That would have been an interesting one. Demogorgon sets were great to watch. I would have loved to have cast them, because I saw so many good hits on that M2.
Yeah. I mean, dude, even the one game that I just casted, Pedro, bro. Oh my god.
I know, I know.
The shreds there were just so amazing. So much so that to dodge them, we would have had to have even more exciting plays happen to begin with, you know? Like that's what I love a lot about like super high skill gameplay. That someone's so insane at the game that someone else to outplay them has to be even better and pull off something even more exciting in order to like outplay it. And that's continuous, bro. That happens all the time, and it's just so exciting to watch each and every time that it happens.
Yep. So from what I know, the Demogorgon set isn't gonna get redone, not yet. So we're gonna go straight over to Night on Suffle Pit 2. Why Suffle Pit 2? I don't like Suffle Pit 2 personally. What about you?
Suffle Pit 2 is such an awkward map because it's like if it's kind of like Groaning Storehouse except just Suffle Pit main building. It's literally just a repeat of each other, which I think is like very awkward in a way. Minus the fact that maybe because like I'm not gonna lie, the only difference I see is that there kind of isn't ever an eye tile unless it's like near Shack. But like, I don't even think there is one. I don't know, bro. I haven't played on this map enough, right? Like, when was the last time you played on Suffle Pit 2?
I get a few of these matches when I'm playing on Huntress, but I kind of like this map for Huntress, weirdly enough.
I mean, Huntress is well, I mean, dude, look at the map. You can kind of hold almost everything with just one angle, especially like on a killer like Huntress. But here we're looking at the Knight. You kind of have like the similar viewage point where you see like all of the kind of everywhere you need to go. Kind of like sitting right here, I'm fairly certain you can make the guard go anywhere, right?
Possible. The assassin coming over.
Pedro, and he's gonna find it around this here, but he's actually going to be taking chase onto the gen near the Ordman tile, which is a smart decision, you know, not wanting to force the assassin to come through because the assassin is one of the most oppressive you know, guards to actually deal with in the middle of a chase. But Jolie, Pedro in chase right now, and oh my god, just completely losing him there. You saw that. That was insane.
I'm surprised that that small amount of line of sight was enough. I'm really surprised that that was enough for Pedro to be able to get to another tile safely. He does get the tag here, but he will make it to Shack safely, I think. With the assassin, maybe not. But someone else is going to take that. Yep, there's Dan taking it.
Assassin
now has to go for the mind game.
That might be a tag there. Oh wait, no, he's wasting a bit of time. Oh my god.
Almost.
Could you imagine if he ran? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Essentially trying to block him away. He's gonna end up taking the tag right now. Chase gonna be onto Dan, as Dan is actually gonna be completely stuck up upon by the jailer. The jailer getting a bit of distance on top of him. Of course, this is probably gonna be the chase around, but he's gonna be zoning him away from the outer side of the map. Potentially gonna be going around Cold Tower, but he does have the Ordman tile to still work with, as Pedro, I do believe, has not used that entirely just yet. Instead, he's skipping it, going over towards the TNL wall, which is actually an even safer decision technically. No, but he's gonna have forced. Oh my god.
He gets hit here, no?
Dude.
Oh my
god. Oh my god. I was like quiet for a second because I was just trying to see what Dan was up to. I know exactly the plan he had in mind, bro. If he pulled that off, that would have been huge. But the first hook of the game is going to happen on top of Dan, so that's going to be the first pain res. And dude, they took out Run. Unlucky for Zeno, unable to. Yeah, I thought it was going to be thrilled. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Thrill that they would have taken out first, which would have been, you know, helpful, but I guess not.
Oh, someone is here. No more pallets. Oh, they full scented their spits. Running away does have the window here to vault if they want to. Yep, there's the fast vault immediately.
Yeah, dude, holy. Right now, Spitz, you remember, bro. Spitz always has a tendency to make the most out of nothing. And it's insane. He right now has a 4-lane pallet to work with, and right now he's doing a very, very good job.
He just runs into him as soon as we say it.
Yeah,
Caster's
Jesus.
Curse.
Caster's Curse is striking me across the face. Well, I mean, he did do still a pretty good job of keeping himself, well versed in the chase, but right now he's stuck in a very difficult position. There's a lot of ways to escape here in the main building, and it seems like he's going to be going around this side. I would have potentially gone around the other side, but he does have this pallet to work with, and it seems like he's actually going to be instead going over towards the corner of the map, not letting him fake out, which is actually a bit of distance that he gains on top of Xeno, wasting just a tad bit more time, allowing them to pop the gen quickly. Hopefully they can pop another gen, or maybe they're going to get some progress off. But the pain res comes
through. Pain res, though.
Yeah.
They expected that hook, because that was the only hook that that Xeno could have realistically went for. So a bit of unlucky on the survivor side that hook happened to be a pain res.
Okay, so we're still seeing currently the plan here, as we're going to be finding the assassin on top of Pedro, but Pedro dodging the detection is probably inside, or at least on the outside. Yeah, he did go inside there very quickly. He's just trying to not get caught by the assassin, but it seems like the tag is going to be used instantaneously, meaning that the assassin is no longer going to be chasing after him, as he opts for the tag rather than, you know, of course, the chase, which is honestly I mean, pretty basic decision. You know, you always want to go for that. Okay, quick butcher coming through to quickly destroy that, as the brute is going to find that pallet instantly, and now Pedro is going to go down in a millennia later, man. Like, we're gonna have to wait another couple months for Pedro to finally go down. But right now, we're actually gonna be seeing the jailer breaking the pallet, completely getting in front of him before he's able to vault, and that is going to be the down.
Counterplay. I was thinking about it too. I was thinking, can't he just send a thing and block the pallet? That's what I was thinking about it, and he immediately does it. That was really interesting to see. Now, the peculiarity of the assassin is simply that he is faster than the other guards when chasing, correct?
Yeah. Well, I mean, all of them, I would like to believe, kind of have, like, different... Well, I mean, obviously, they have different abilities, but I still haven't researched it entirely. Like, I'm uncertain. We know Assassin's the fastest. He's definitely the one that you always want to get into chase, and the Brute is the strongest, meaning that he's always the one that you want to get to kick the gens, to kick there. The Jailer, however, I believe he has the longest patrol time.
Correct.
I used to believe that he also had the longest chase time, even though he wasn't the fastest, because it would make more sense, you know, the Jailer kind of keeping somebody at bay for so long. But I guess, yeah, being able to go around a lot longer kind of makes him a very good patrol and information dependent guard. And it seems like right now Xeno's going to be moving over towards the corner of the map, seeing as Nightlight is running over towards main and is going to be catching the assassin, so we could be seeing a tag here very soon, unless he's able to make his way back over towards the flag. But of course, we understand that as Xeno, we're not going to allow this to come through. Life! Oh my lord! Dude, imagine if he went inside, he could have completely just, like, sped away, but it seems like he's opting to play this 50-50 instead, you know, using the pallet, maybe having a bit of an easier decision, and three times? Oh my god, and he's still keeping it in. He's going for a fourth, he's just playing around it. Oh my, dude, is he following? No, man, he's following that, you know, that one rule that everybody talks about, that low-key you waste a lot more time by just doing absolutely nothing? Like, everyone tries to mind game. You're gonna see somebody double back like 7 times before they actually commit, and Dan gets found on top of the gen, while we're gonna be seeing a tag come through from Spitz, maybe to potentially help him. No, they're instead gonna have to try and get around him. Spitz coming through with the tag instantaneously. It seems like the focus is gonna be onto him. Unfortunately, he's unable to make anything, as Dan is gonna be completely set around this one position. He's gonna be trying to look for this slug. They are gonna be able to pop that gen. He gets it in front of him. That's gonna be the Jailer. Is he able to dodge detection? It seems like no, but maybe Nightlight's going to be around to take a hit for him, so maybe we could see this 3 out. But right now, Spitz is still on the floor. We're going to check on which gate it is, and it seems like it is not going to be the gate around Shaq, so no one is going to be able to pick him up instantaneously. And it's safe to assume that he's actually out here. So he's completely going back over towards Spitz as Nightlight takes the tag. So it's probably confirmed, especially with Nightlight taking a tag. That's going to be him leaving the game. Pedro and Dan leaving the game, leaving Spitz completely on the floor to be killed.
Oh, and the Mori. Damn, we got a special treatment.
It's the Sheath's blade.
It is one of the coolest Moris.
Yeah, it's just it really go. It comes to show. Imagine if they really doubled down on like the gore, because they've had a lot of gory Moris, like
Lately.
yeah, lately especially. Like I remember the original one where everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's so gory," was the hag because she like pulls all your guts out and stuff.
Yeah.
But then like you got the singularity blowing your face off, like.
Yep. You got Chucky. Like you can see the blood coming out of you, and he stabs you with his knife at the end, like cutting your jugular off. You have the xenomorph that literally pokes a hole through your head, and you can see the brains in it. Yeah, the latest Moris are definitely different.
Cenobite, which isn't like necessarily gory, but it's all about the shock factor, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's not comfortable looking at a person getting like completely pulled apart by a bunch of chains.
It is definitely weird. You also get the trapper one, the naughty bear one that gives them a new Mori is complete. It's a lot more gory than the normal trapper one.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of effort, but like think about it, doubling down on like something like that night, bro. Like when you pull, it would just there's just a lot of gore factor. Because if you think about it, imagine DBD with like Mortal Kombat fatalities.
Oh come on,
that would be gruesome, bro.
Yes.
That would be so gruesome.
Before every Mori, you hear the word "finish him." Every time you walk by the door, finish him.
Bro. I mean, Jesus. There's a lot of potential with those things. But remember, the focus is always onto the gameplay. They never really had enough time for making too much like quality things because everybody's always complaining about something and good like a good reason to as well.
Yeah, the game has a lot of features, but it has more bugs than features.
You know, it's gonna cause like a huge uprise if they remove Jim the Beam.
Oh my god!
That's gonna cause a humongous uprise.
They should move him over to the campfire screen.
I mean, they should just make it a part of the lore at this point. Like, put him away, but acknowledge him, right? At this point.
The fact that actually got so much fan fare is really interesting. Something so simple.
Have you seen that one tweet that Hens made saying about like, oh, I accidentally used stretch res and I saw that there's more to the beam and there's like an actual extension to it. Like there's more in the model. Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
I didn't know.
Bro, I could probably find it and send it to you right now as we move on towards the next match. But yeah, that's gonna be quickly me stepping out in taking in with Zach and once again Jolie. So we will return with the original lineup of me and Jack. Or sorry, what, did I? Oh my God, Jack, Zach. Like I don't know if I'm confusing the two names. Zach's coming in with Jolie, and I'm coming back with Jack. So, thank you, Jolie, for letting me take this test with you, even if it was just for a single game.
Jack.
So we will see you all, or I will see you all, in one more game.
Nonetheless, Knight. How many hook stages was that? Because with the Mori, I believe that was 5. Zach.
Yeah, I believe so. It was 2 stages. The third one was on Spitz, and then an additional 2 from the Mori, right? I think.
Exactly.
Because Nightlight was fresh. Yeah. I was also muted. I did. Thank you, Spectral, for the handover. Yeah. Appreciate it. Dude,
he was handing you something in a silver platter, and you just didn't take it.
That's my bad. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I stepped out for food as well, so I completely understand that you sometimes need a break.
Yeah, that was again. That was like a showcase of kind of just the micro of what's it called? The micro of night. So I was distracted by what was on the screen. We are just getting next lobby up, and it's nice. It's different. It's a different killer, and I always appreciate when those things sort of come in because it kind of challenges the status quo, right? You can't always have the same killers in rotation for comp. I feel like trying and testing those different ones are always a good thing. But yeah, 5 stages. I wasn't really sure what I expected result wise. It was kind of interesting really because I guess if you're going through chases, your efficient use of your guards, like for example, I think it was the jailer when he put it on the pallet to do the slow break, and it stopped Pedro from vaulting. That's one of the few things on night that like give him like an awesome, like they give him an advantage. It's just really cool to see. And then you have the assassin, which is the fastest, and then the other one. What's the other one called?
Carnifex.
Yeah, the big one, or is that the jailer?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
that is the big one. It's the Carnifex that breaks stuff instantly.
Yeah. There's 3 different guards using them. Like we saw a bit of value come through from Xeno. So, yeah, I like to see what. Actually, we've got Kexo on killer. That's interesting. Maybe Pedro didn't want to play knight. We got Kexo on knight, which is an interesting one. I'm interested to see what he could do, or whether that's just a decision. Kexo was best on night, or if that's I'm not playing this killer.
I mean, I doubt that would be the mindset for finals. It might just be that they are either the better player or know more of that specific killer, right? Because even if your overall killer instincts aren't as sharp, that better knowledge will most likely allow you to go further than someone that just has the basic killer knowledge and less of the specific killer. Because like you said, the efficient use of the guards is what makes or breaks a good knight. Most knights, you just see them do a pincer attack for free downs. You don't see them utilize the guards for pallet breaks or for extended chases or to stop people going on gens. You just see them use the pincer attack, which guarantees a hit, which guarantees a down after being used twice. And it's not as, how you would say, it's not pleasing to see if it's the only method that you see happening, right?
Yeah. Well, without his guards, he's a 4.6 and 1 killer, right? He's faster. But yeah, it reminds me of like Dracula. You know, when Dracula came out, you just had the Hellfire Andes just holding like, there's never using that or Wolf form. It's kind of like that. It's just, yeah.
I have went against one of those recently.
Yeah, they just hold Hellfire everything. They don't even switch forms or like utilize his actual power. It's Knight's the same deal. Like he kind of gets punished for not doing that in some situations. But there we go. Loading into the return fixture, we've got Kexo playing Knight for his team for a 3rd set point to take us to match point. We did tie the last set, so we're still 2-1. There is the possibility for us to have the 4-1 without any need for replays, but that remains to be seen with this very competitive game that we're watching.
Oh my god.
Is honing in on Ivan right there. Of course, given that it's spectator, we can all see the survivors, but Kexo can't. So that's just one thing to point out. Whatever advantage we have in our spectator lobby, it is not something that Kexo has. Complete predictions in game sense, which is actually, which is even more impressive, especially because we can see that Kexo's right there. Oh my god!
3 pallets. I'm just gonna say 3 pallets in that corner is illegal.
Bit of an insane setup then behind main. Suffer Bit 2 is a weird one. I feel like I don't play this map very much or see it at all. But there are certainly like areas where it's almost like a smaller Suffer Pit, but you can still get like really strong collections of tiles, like chains to God Rocks.
Oh,
timing coming in. Oh, he tries to use his guard right there.
Yep, he tried to go for the insta break, and he actually faked it, I think, and didn't end up using it.
Is either that, or he has the add-on that lets you. Oh, I don't know actually. Yeah, fix the guard use anyway. You guys Ivan down. This is me just trying to understand what Knight is. To be honest.
Whoa.
They do 2 gens in response for the
first
hook of the game. Yeah, there's gonna be a pain res.
Does that pain res have any value?
I don't think so. It's gonna be. They finished 2 gens. I mean, they could have been 3 splitting. Yeah, no, it would have hit that gen, right? I don't know. It seems like the only gen they could have been doing outside of those other two. I guess this is now Kexo assessing the situation, right? But this, I think we're on track for like a good result from the survivors if this match continues at the same pace. At 5 stages, you've got 1 stage with 2 gens. If you continue at that pace, the game might even be lost.
Well, yeah, but that's never going to be the case. You're never going to have the same speed.
Forgive me for being
when it comes to doing
skeptical, you know,
gens.
it's like I gotta challenge. Oh my god, he just got Ivan again with the guard. I don't know. I love speculating though, Jolie. It's so fun.
No. Please speculate at will. I am a very big negative Nancy when it comes to that. Don't worry about it. And I'm always on the killer's side, sort of way. I always want to see 4Ks. I always want to see all the survivors dead. But that's just my killer way.
Yeah, true. Like if you kill you kill a player, you want to kill survivors, right? But that being said, like a second stage so early on too, that was an immediate down off the unhook. So that's very good for the killer, right? So eating my own words, basically immediately they pop a gen. Angels takes that guard hostage, and don't really see having too much pressure to speak of. We have Xeno being found here, and this is in the area where the hook is. So, oh, Angels actually takes attack from the guard. How does that happen? Just a bit of free pressure there for our player.
It's weird, but completely normal to overestimate the guards. That happens a lot when you overestimate the guards, and now the save becomes a lot harder, right? Because someone else could have just come over and get the flag, which meant that Xeno could have came for the save as well. But you really don't expect them to gain as much ground as they do. There's a couple of techs, I don't know if they fixed them yet, where you just have to hug a window or touch a window, and the guards will check the window before they go after you.
Yeah, they used to. I've seen clips of that where it's just like going between 2 Larry's windows and just bouncing the guard between it. I don't know if they fixed that or made any change. I don't really track night changes, I'll be totally honest with you. But
nobody does.
Yeah, it's just the night mains. But the first death comes through. Kexo secures it at 2 gens. We do have some progress on this gen in the by the shack, but look, we have like almost a 4-corner split. Like we have a complete square of generators.
Yeah, but with the night patrol feature, you can easily get them. Oh my god, no, not the assassin getting
the pincer movement, like we were talking about. What? Wait, what? Oh, he tried to go for the pallet break. I feel like that was a bit of a waste, actually, to be honest, because there was no one in chase. I don't know. Maybe that'll come back to bite him in the next chase. But 3 stages on the board, 4 gens completed. Essentially, whoever he finds next as a fresh hook,
he just needs to camp it.
Basically, yeah. And the guard runs out. It doesn't get the tag. That's gonna be no value from guard as well.
That was really unlucky.
Yeah, just such bad timing.
Yeah, he's gonna have to check on that.
There is some progress. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, but just putting the guard there already like hinders. I feel like this is one of the killers where Ruin is so good. We saw like Ruin get immediately deleted last match, sure, but I feel like this killer specifically, Ruin, is just so good because of how easily you can just patrol the gens.
Yeah, you can be in like 2 places at once, right? Which is
exactly
not something that most killers can do. And if you stay on the gen, you're forced into a situation where you leave the gen, and that immediately gives Ruin value. So I completely agree with you. I think I really liked the use of it last game, even despite it being just completely deleted immediately. Especially with the thrill of the hunt too, which will reduce the chance of the right hex being found. But
yeah, I mean, it also extends the time, right? What is it?
Yeah.
Almost doubles it or something. Oh, they knew. They knew.
Yeah, they did.
They don't get anything, though. Oh, no, they did. Xeno is taking that guard for hostage and immediately taking a hit, too. This is not where you want to be. What happened here?
Yeah, because now you go from a guard like injuring you to kill it to downing you, right? So it's even more pressure. So I'm not surprised if they will take the time to reset. Oh, a dodge is out on that Night Angels right there. Spotting the survivors here too. Everyone is here. It's a party at Shack.
Oh,
And there's
God.
2 people, and they're all worth the equal amount. This could be like a double down almost. Oh, he goes for Marcos.
I don't think there's a could be, because he's just going to slug.
Yeah, he could.
You don't
he
you don't
can.
have to go for the gen. Why are you going for the gen?
Oh, he's got the eruption too. He knows. Forced Hezi as well. I don't know if he got any value onto Angels there, but
It did. He was really slow, but Kexo was more worried about the gen, which is why it was so weird for me, because he had that forced hesitation value.
I guess there's nothing wrong with being careful, right? Oh my God, Angels
Oh my
almost
God.
trying to go for the instant unhook. Kexo reading him like a book, knowing he's still in the area too. He swings through. That was so close. Ivan almost going. Oh, it's not Ivan. Sorry, Angels almost going down. Swings through again, and they finished the gen too. That being said, or the adrenaline onto Angels as well.
Oh my God, he just went through him.
Yeah, bear in mind this is 5. I believe it was 5 on 3 survivors. So a kill here. I mean, it'll take us to 6. It takes us to 6, but second stage isn't enough. He needs another fresh hook. So an injured survivor would be the
after
person.
Xeno.
Yeah, the injured survivor would be exactly what he needs. Is there enough distance for Angels to take a hit here? He goes for the rescue onto Marcos. And yeah, this is actually a really intense endgame. I mean, it's very quiet and calm, but
Yeah, the calm before the storm.
Oh, the flag.
You
It's
can't
incredible.
because of the jailer. It takes longer to spawn. Why are you putting him there? I don't agree with this play at all. I would have put him right next to the gate, because you can just guard it. Yeah, there's a hook right there next to the gate. You could have just guarded that and been safe, because they can't open that gate. Right now it's a tie, and they need to open that gate and escape.
Yeah, you can see a survivor going over for the rotation, but this is a knight. He can be 2 places at once. Doesn't catch anyone with that first guard. Is on cooldown now for the next. Is going to put it out. And will it catch Angels? No. It was almost like a cancel.
It's not. Well, never mind. I was gonna say it's not far away enough. But now he can be on 2 places at the same time, just like you said. Angels can't. Oh, this is a bad move. Oh no, he's gonna double vault. Okay.
They cannot let him get a second tier. Yeah, it has to be. Oh, the guard time's out. This is going to be a trade for Angels though. And that's going to be a stage given over. He just hooks
what are you gonna do
he
now?
basically wins, yeah.
Forced hesitation.
Oh my God, this is.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is really hard to win for no, basically impossible now. He just hooks Angels and then that's it. Not giving any chance for the pickup. Gonna take it home. It was a close call. I think Cynic did really well to combat that first result, but yeah, ultimately Invictus taking a 3rd set point. Now we're now going into the Deathslinger set on match point, but I think there's a relatively comfortable set for both of these guys, right?
I'm just wondering who's gonna snipe the best on the next set. Honestly, it was really well played by Xeno here. It's a shame that Marcos couldn't have come over and taken that hit, because I think that was the supposed play here, was to get Marcos to take the hit, and then Angels could get the save for free. Everyone makes it out. Well, not everyone makes it out, but you know, you still have the play of someone making it out without giving away the win con. Nonetheless, that's not what happened. After the Demogorgon tie,
2020 vision. I like it. It's That was a fun set to watch, and I was going to say something, but I completely forgot my point. So I don't know what I was going.
Really?
Yep. I think the fact that they couldn't let him get second was putting pressure on them because Angels did not have time to do the gate and
Yeah.
and save. And when Marcos is already getting pressured off, it's like you make that call. You're like, I need you to go in for this. Like it has to be now. Thankfully, the guard timed out, but unfortunately, like
It's
there
not
was
that the guard
already
timed out.
hit.
It was because it was went next to the hook. I believe when the guards are next to the hook, they just disappear.
It speeds up.
Still,
It speeds up, right? I think.
oh, it.
Well,
Either
if
one,
a
either one
survivor
or the other.
is detected and then they touch the survivor on the hook, it immediately goes away.
Despawns. Yeah,
Right?
okay.
So as soon
Oh,
as
wow.
Angels touch the hook, the guard goes away.
It's to
Yeah.
prevent very bad situations that the knight could create. Of just double tapping, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because otherwise his camping potential would be absolutely crazy.
He would basically be a Bubba, just with extra steps.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, it worked out in Kexo's favor there. He was able to secure the trade on hook. Unfortunately, like you said, our ace player was not quite in position to go for the save. We could have seen a play potentially where like, Angels taps the hook and then doesn't have to go for the full trade. But
Just to get the despawn off.
they,
But I think the
they're on such a time
timer-
crunch. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
The second stage timer was the ticking with time bomb there because they knew that they would just lose if that hit. So I completely understand. That's when bad plays are made, but that's also when heroes are made. It's when it's do or die.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So that does put us, I believe, in a 3-1 spread for the
Correct.
set so far. Invictus is now on their match point. It will be the Death Slinger on Suffocation Pit. So a pretty traditional set. This will be the pick of Invictus as well. So likely a set they're confident in, something they have practiced and are ready for. So we'll see if they're going to be able to take home this entire tournament with this last set, or if they can, or if Cynic's going to be able to fight back. Potentially we could see them force a tie. Well, it wouldn't even be tiebreaker at this point, right? Because we did have a tie on demo. If they could force a set 7 on Singularity. But we will see. It's not going to be easy. I think Invictus is feeling pretty good right now, up 3-1, with their pick coming up next.
I would love to see Ray allow Eerie Coin.
Oh, an Eerie
On
Coin
that
Slinger
Slinger.
match.
that would be an amazing match. The deadliness. And there's the drawback, right? You have to like shoot them from a certain distance.
True.
So you'd have to go for riskier shots, but the payback, that would have been euphoric.
You also have the drawback of not having Warden's Keys and Cigar, which you see so commonly.
Yep.
Those add-ons, or maybe a couple others, double reload or a rare prison chain usage, where for this the breaking out is slower. But I don't know. We don't see too much else used, so you'd have to give up on some really good add-ons in favor of, I mean, to be fair, another good one, but we will see what we have going up in this trial. I think it's going to be Pedro on the killer this time, going up against the survivors of Team Cynic. He is going to be trying to set a go-to-win con here for his team. And it looks like we saw the exact add-ons that I was talking about here. It is going to be Cigar and a Warden's Keys, so he's going to have the faster reload and the faster recovery on chain break. So a lot of times you see the Death Slinger, if they can get a shot on a healthy survivor, they will intentionally break the chain for that really fast recovery and then quickly reload with their like double add-on value basically to get some 2-taps. And it looks like we're going to be taking chase onto Xeno here. I believe Spectral is back to help me cast this match. Spectral, if you're here, what do you think about the Suffocation Pit for Slinger? He's a 4.4 killer. He's not always able to rotate really efficiently as Pedro goes for a shot there, but he can hold the cross quite well with his ranged attack.
And he is going to find that shot there on the short side, pulling him through. He does have Cigar and Warden Keys, of course, to help him out and chase massively, as we're actually going to be seeing the utilization of that almost instantaneously. We could be looking at a 2-tap here. He goes for that snipe, ends up missing it as Xeno runs into a straight line to the right side, so he's going to end up getting a good dodge, and he's going to make it over towards Shaq safely. He pre-drops the Shaq pellet, of course, to maximize his distance, and it seems like maybe we're going to get some support here from our team. But no, wait, instead of support, we're actually going over towards the Z-wall and edge map, wasting time. And we're going to be pulled a lot closer towards the middle of the map as the down does come through, and Xeno's going to be dead in the corner of the map. Honestly, that's helpful. That's really good for the future of this match for Cynic here, as that is a very good death spot. First end of the game is going to pop, as I said, and I'm not going to lie, bro, look at these hooks. There's not a single painters in sight. And
He might have to drop
actually, yeah, no, he just screwed up. They're gonna wiggle for free.
Yeah, unlucky. The chain dragging Xeno back into the match was not quite close enough. Pedro was a little bit indecisive there on which hook he wanted to go to. I think he was thinking either basement or the hill hook over there, but he ends up making nothing because of it. So now Xeno's chase going to be extended here. Goes for the shot, but not quite able to connect over the box. It looks like Angel's trying to take a bit of pressure off of his teammate here and extend this first chase. Something, it's a bit of a cheeky tech. It looks like Angel's doing a lot of BM, but it's really like impossible for Pedro to aim without looking away from the flashlight. So you can really kind of just make him go for the quick snipes and quick scopes, if you will. I know there's technically not a scope on this gun, but you get the idea here. And it looks like Xeno's going to be getting away for free as another gen is done. This is a really good start for Cynic so far.
We are going to find Xeno on the corner of the map here at 7. He's going to be holding this spot very tightly. Unfortunately, he's unable to completely make it through as Marcos comes through and blocks him completely from making it around the rock, giving him even more time to work with here. Xeno might be able to just jiggy here because he... Oh, wait, no, he's staying at the pallet. He hears him. He's going to be pulling him through, and unfortunately, he's unable to make everything completely, as Xeno's unable to make that pallet and is going to go down. Pedro securing the down for everyone in view.
Yeah, and now instead of getting the Spain res hook at 4, we get the pain res hook at 2, and I'm not even sure how much progress the survivors have at this point. It does use a pain res stack, so they are keeping the pressure up, but certainly not the value that Pedro would have liked to see and secure a couple more gens early on in this match. Now, the gen spread, not horrible for the survivors, but they do have kind of a 3-gen. It's opposite side of the hook, though, so I think they're going to be all right as far as gen spread goes. We do see Dragon's Grip Eruption, which can be so dangerous in a 3-gen type of situation, but they've played this early match so well that nice shot there as well. Going to get a tag onto Marcos. Doesn't even want to wait for the cigar to break the chain. He just needs to play aggressively as he's gotten off to a bit of a slow start here. Good shot when Marcos is locked in the window animation. Is he going to get the hit? No,
Man, it seems like Ivan's going to help him out. I feel like he probably could have like completely blocked off the hit as well. Maybe if he hugged the outer side, I don't know if he would have had enough distance to do so. But he decides to opt to play it safe, you know, taking the tag instead of, you know, letting everything come through. But with all this coordination coming through, unfortunately, Ivan is going to go down, and that is going to be the next hook onto him, guaranteed completely. My lord.
Bit of a delay of that down there, but we are going to secure another fresh hook in pain res, it looks like, before another gen pops as well. So going to be slowing these gens down. And Pedro, at this point, I mean, I think your strategy in this type of situation is typically to play for more fresh hooks. You've likely lost too much time in the early game to get a tunnel out entirely, so you need to try to secure as many stages to get as good of a result as possible, unless these survivors make a major mistake. But pain res can certainly help in that, where you're getting big chunks of regression. And we found the injured survivor as well, so this chase, you know, potentially could not be too long, although I would have said that about Marco's Xenomorph chase earlier as well, and he ended up taking that for the last 2 gens. Good vault there on the Scod Rock, and he's going to be maybe trying to use his balanced landing here. Are we going to see his exhaustion come out? Nice shot there from Pedro, but Xeno is there. He's going to break that chain in time. Great teamwork there.
And there's going to be support coming through from Xeno. Oh, both of them just being short of that bullet as Pedro ends up aiming in between the two of them by accident again as Xeno dodges away. Probably trying to look for anything at this point, as 2 gens isn't exactly the safest position. You can agree probably, Jack, that he is going to have to kind of push himself forward with a bit of a snowball here. Otherwise, he's just going to be looking for minimum stages. Insane snipe onto Ivan. Ivan is going to be
Really
able to
quick
break it in
shot.
time and is going to be forced into not a 50-50, but is now going to be in a situation where he has to dodge. Ends up cutting that corner just in time as Pedro's unable to completely close this distance and is probably going to have to maybe leave this. No, he hears them. He's going to stay here for a second. He's going to kick it, applying Dragon's Grip and Eruption to it. I don't think we're going to be seeing at least a chase here in a second unless Zeno comes in to try and help Ivan out. Maybe he expected less distance? I don't know, dude. But wait, this is actually kind of a safe chase to take. It's a healthy player, it's not injured, and they've already been hooked before, right?
I think this is bait, and I think Pedro's realizing that as well. There's likely at least one, if not two survivors working this middle generator. And yeah, it's got a good amount of progress. Zeno's absolutely baiting, trying to get Pedro away from this gen and give them enough time to pop. It was the injured Marcos as well.
That's insane, though. So we are currently chasing around a survivor near Shack. We're going to find them here on 2-7 as they are going to have to be very careful. Marcos is now going to be running over towards 9 and is unfortunately unable to take much distance. You are going to be seeing the hit tank come through with Angels that is going to be able to take the hit currently and maybe going to be seeing balance, but no, the focus is going to be onto Angels instead as Angels is going to have to dodge another bullet. Maybe going to be potentially going for a quick scope here. He's going to end up getting the adrenaline, completely missing the shot. Insane as Pedro's patience ended up working against him completely, maybe trying to get an opportunity just to snipe him and then quickly take it out, but the adrenaline is going to come through and it is going to save Angels completely. He has nothing for the end game. He has nothing to save himself, and right now all we're looking at is 2 stages. Dude, this is insane. Cynic is looking at an incredible bout at the moment as we could see maybe a potential mind game here. There is going to be Angels here supporting out. Who is here? I believe it might be Ivan, or otherwise it's Marcos. I don't know.
Marcos is definitely here at main. I heard the ace, but I'm not sure if he has someone else here. They could be trying to get a cheeky reset, as he's just trying to hold the survivor in the main building. Some insane teamwork has came through. Yeah, it's going to be Zeno as well here, trying to protect their fresh hook, their injured survivor here.
Gates are looking hella far right now, and he is unable to grab that snipe. If they're able to finish this reset, they're going to have some hit tanks come through, as one of them is going to have to try and look for a continuous moment to escape. Marcos is going to be reset. Zeno's going to get it off in time. Maybe Zeno's going to be able to take the down front, but right now at the moment, we're only looking at Cigar and Warden's Keys. Jack, this is insane and intense, honestly, because like it's just full-on chase.
Yeah, Pedro would love to try to secure a fresh hook here and get his best result possible, but these survivors are all healthy now. They're not making it easy. He's trying to hold them here at main building, but at some point, they can kind of just full send. Nice shot there.
They should have sent it earlier. Right now, Marcos is going to be completely zoned away from any like valuable resource and way to make it bottom. His ticket's gonna have to be the help of his team. We do see the people setting up for the reset. That's gonna be Angels and Zeno. Angels and Zeno still keeping around here. Could we potentially see that reset come through? But I know it seems like the pressure's gonna be on as he's gonna completely hit Zeno. Now gonna be given the opportunity to run down towards bottom side. Could be seeing support. No, instead he's gonna be doubling back. They're still keeping around here. They're running out of time. But Angel's shown himself is gonna be taking another tag as he's going to completely take this, as he understands that Marcos is completely zoned away from here. And instead is even gonna be going for him. We do see Ivan trying to help him out here. He does have these like choke points to hold, but right now it seems like Zeno and Marcos are still looking for that reset.
Are they still trying to reset my main?
I think they're actually just trying to get over forward. He can maximize these stages. He understands that Marcos is injured, so he could potentially waste enough time here. He's just gonna have to wait up a second. A lot of these things popped. He should have committed to at least something, but it seems like he's unable to do anything here, and he can only wait to see if he can maybe stop Marcos from making it out there anywhere, but maybe he's going to be able to hold the choke. Does he
that's Marcos right there. He's in the gate.
Oh, no.
And they are going to get all 4 survivors out with only 2 stages. Really well played from these survivors, and that's another strong performance from Cynic on an Invictus killer pick. You know, that's a trend we've seen today. They've really shown up to play in these sets. That was not what I expected to see out of this match. And Pedro, I mean, that first hook, it was just an absolute, like, turned the entire tides of that match. He had a down at 4 gens. It wasn't the fastest down of all time, right? But it was still relatively early. I think we could have definitely turned that into a much better result with an early pain res on Zeno there, but ends up losing 3 gens for his first chase, unfortunately for Invictus. So now they're going to be in a really tough spot.
Yeah, I can't lie to you, man. This is not really a possible result, bro. 2 stages to win, they have to escape with only 1 stage. That's insane, dude. Just the immaculate, just like survivor performance completely. Not something you ever expect to
The
see.
main building in Suffo Pit for a killer not named like the Nurse or the Blight can be really tough to play around. Yeah, you have range, you can get injuries, but securing it down is a completely different story for the Deathslinger. He can't quite do that. We saw some really good hit takes as well that match. I think that's something to kind of call out, compliment Cynic on their plays where they were I mean, they were always in position. It seemed like to kind of break the chain when they needed to. They were getting in there, and like at the very end, especially, we saw like Angels was there to break the chain or take the hit actually, and then into the adrenaline. So like, what do you do in a situation like that?
Not much, man. Not much at all. Damn. That's just. We are. I don't know what to expect anymore. Xeno only really realistically has to get 3 stages, meaning that he kind of just has to get a single kill. And like, yeah, that's it. I don't know how much of a plan there's going to have to be here other than just, don't get completely destroyed. Oh, Lord. I mean, I think it's safe to assume that Cynic probably, well, I mean, yeah, no, easily, bro. But how do you think we're going to be, or what do you think the result's actually going to be?
Actually, I mean, realistically, I think the expected result is what I'll say is around 6 stages, right? You kind of expect to get a tunnel out, maybe secure 3 or 4 more stages.
Possibly, yeah.
But I mean, realistically, when you're going into a set knowing that you need like a 1 stage result, then yeah, it can be kind of demeaning, honestly. I don't think you kind of go into it with the best mentality.
True. Yeah, it's got to be very demoralizing, obviously. Hmm.
Yeah, so we will see what the result they're able to come up with, though. But likely going to be going into a 3-2 set 7 singularity after this. We'll see what we're just working out a couple of details in the background, and we are.
We should be around. I think we should be fine. Yeah. Okay. Well, with that being said, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to go ahead and take a real quick break until the next game to find and kind of recollect our bearings, because I'm not going to lie, dude. 2-stage result, there's not much to say about it. We just kind of give, like, I guess, a little bit of a moment of silence just to clear our heads and be able to go into this next game with kind of a fresh slate. So we'll see you all after this very short break and, of course, these short messages. And ladies and gentlemen, we are here now back in live at the arcade with some news, as we're going to go ahead and quickly cover some housekeeping, as it seems like, unfortunately, Invictus has forfeited the set of Deathslinger. So they will be receiving a black card, and of course are perfectly fine with it. They understood the consequence and are willing to take it as we move on towards our singularity set, and with some explanation to do, as it seems like we're actually going to be, since technically we got robbed of a set and we were unable to completely cast it through, me and Jack will be taking the first set of the singularity, and then we'll pick back off with normal you know, showings with Jolie and Zach. But Jack, Singularity, Bale Rose. We've seen it once before. What do you think it's going to be with these two teams?
Yeah, I have to say I really enjoy watching Singularity played on basically any map not called Dead Dog Saloon. I think that set is super figured out by survivors, and a lot of comp teams have played that so much that it's interesting to see this killer played on a different map where, you know, Xeno, they don't know the perfect, most figured out pod placements, and they kind of have to do a little bit more winging it, so to speak. So we'll see what this ends up looking like. But we see a really spicy build here from Xeno with a couple of hex perks, as well as Thrill of the Hunt to defend both his Ruin and Devour Hope. But that means likely he won't be going for too much camping. Good 50 there, won by Kexo as well, as we still do not have a tag. We've had a couple of infections, but the survivors playing with EMP in hand to try to deny the chase power of Singularity, and that's, you know, that's how you want to play this set exactly. And Dan was ready with another EMP as well.
As we're going to be seeing that quick EMP, he's running over towards the corner of the map with absolutely no camera on him just yet. He's going to be in a bit of a tough spot at the moment. Probably going to have to be breaking that as he's trying to look for it, but he's just continuously spawning in a bunch of things that he can't delete. He has 3 cameras in one loop at the moment. He's unable to completely TP, but he's waiting for the TP to come through. After this vault ends up happening, he's going to quickly break this distance. He's just looking for an opportunity to completely catch Dan off guard and TP to him so he can get more distance and even confirm the tag.
What a setup Dan has here with these 2 pog logs into the main building. That's really rough to try to play around.
Yeah, and on top of that, oh my god, it would have been perfect if there was a filler around there. He wouldn't have had anything to work with. But that's going to be the EMP coming through to completely clear him, as Dan is now going to be the focus. And he's trying to look for an opportunity to snipe him. He finds a slight angle, but is unable to commit to it. And Dan is going to find the teleport actually coming through once more. He does have the pallet to work with, and he is going to be able to make it. Insane chase mechanics as he's looking for another TP. He's going to be completely going back around. He's looking for this opportunity. He has the 50-50 in his hands. Is he going to be able to vault in time? And it seems like now, the 4th time, he's going to be running around, maybe going to be seeing some support from his team, but unfortunately, no, nothing to help him out. He ends up taking too much distance for what he's unable to cover, and he is going to be going down for the first down of the game with 3 gens remaining. Oh my god.
Looks like Spitz was in position to try to help Dan out there, but he's immediately going to have to use the EMP that he got from the corner of the map, and now he's going to be caught out. Xeno knows exactly where he is with no EMP in hand, so this could be a bit of a tough position for Spitz if nobody's able to help him. They do need to be progressing the gens. Ruin's still active, and Grim Embrace blocking the gens as well, so really, like, getting some perk value here. We'll see how far away Xeno wants to get. You know, Singularity is a killer that can have some insane map pressure with their pods placed all around if the survivors do not keep the cameras disabled. So, you know, he can kind of afford to not play too close to the hook, so I think the Devour Hope play could be really interesting if we do end up not going for just a straight tunnel out here. Pre-drop coming through really quickly from Pedro, but the gen pressure being really, really good so far, and we might not even be able to get to full Devour stacks before all the gens are done at this point.
Oh lord, and right now with Pedro and Chase, he does have the slipstream on him. There's a lot of progress on this gen, too much pressure for Xeno to be able to completely split across. He might be able to actually interrupt it because Pedro, it doesn't seem like anybody's going to be on it at the current moment, and Pedro's going to be in Chase, completely teleported too. He has a little boat to work with. He's probably going to be utilizing it in Chase. It's very powerful against the Singularity naturally, as there's actually not much to use against it. He's going to be forcing it to, however, block, as he's now going to be putting him in a bit of a tough spot. He's going to vault around the short side, and as it blocks, it is finally going to be the down here very soon, unless somebody's going to be able to help out. But it seems like no one is around, and Pedro goes down. 1 gen remaining, only 2 stages on the board. It seems like Invictus is fighting to get back this 2nd set. Are we going to be looking at a complete tie? Huh. I mean,
we do see the Grim Embrace blocking off the gens here in a quick unhook. These survivors have played really, really clean so far. Absolutely just... actually, that unhook came through so fast, Xeno didn't have time to get far enough away for his 2nd stack of Devour Hope. So, we still have that in play to think about, but no value from this hook. And Invictus up 3-2. If they can continue this play out through the rest of the trial for their survivors, they put their killer in a really good position to end this match here and now.
Hang on though, Jack, as we're going to be seeing Spitz and Chase here. He has this window to work with, but he's going to be taking an early tag, and he runs back into the killer. A massive loss of distance. Almost gets that teleport. Could have been a continuous 2-tap, but with that, Kexa also comes in. They're running out of room here a little bit, I guess you could say. They still have a lot of loops to work with, though, so it kind of shows that their pressure's insane, Jack.
They do have really good gen pressure, and you see the survivor that's going to be Dan working on main as well. Healthy survivor. And Xeno looking around, trying to gain some pressure here, trying to force the survivors off the gens any way he can. That pod actually going to be disabled just in range of Dan on main. And, I mean, main building's going to be done at this point, right? He's kind of looking for a tag anywhere he can. That pod's not being able to be placed because of the door. He's going to get another slipstream onto Spitz. Or sorry, Kexo, but Spitz has adrenaline. He's going to be healed up. And the last gen is completely done. We only have 2 hooks to speak of so far.
We're going to be seeing this teleport come through. It's on top of the pallet, so it's going to get him a little bit of distance as he's unable to completely go around. But he's actually going to be taking a bit of a tag coming through now onto Dan. They're running over towards the gate. He's probably trying to look for an opportunity. He's going to end up getting it on top of Dan, and that's going to get him in a massive amount of distance onto Kexo. As right now, Pedro's going to be around. He does have this window to work with, so he's probably not going to be taking a tag at least immediately. He's just going to be focusing. No, instead he's going to be going for the TP onto Spitz. Spitz,
ooh,
no, not going to be taking
fake.
a tag, as it's going to be a complete window fake, completely destroying him, as he is going to be short swinging there. Could be seeing support from our team. He's going to be on top of this pallet. He's going to be picking up. Could we see the flashlight save? And it is not going to be the flashlight save somehow, as Pedro is unable to completely commit to it. And at the moment, unable to get 2 stages. This is going to be another hook, and I believe the only
fresh hook as well.
Yeah, it's a fresh hook, but he's going to blind him. We could see potentially a save coming through here almost instantly, but no.
See if Invictus wants to play for this, or if they're confident in a 5-hook refresh stage game here. Oh, we see a survivor going for the EMP.
You know what he's trying to do? He's probably trying to find a way to infect Pedro. All of them are going to be uninfected, but at the moment, that's not exactly the worry here. He needs to infect a singular survivor. We do see Pedro with the EMP in hand. This is going to be difficult here to pull off. He's unable to get it on top of Dan, at least instantaneously, as it is going to be a long infection there required to get that. But right now, all 3 survivors are going to be surrounding the hook in the moment. They're just keeping themselves around it. That's going to be Pedro running in. The double save is probably going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen between Dan and Pedro, as Pedro's going to be completely pulled off of hook, but it seems like the focus right now is to not only catch up to Pedro, but get in front of Kexo here. He's getting blocked off. He's been completely blocked, but this EMP has worked against him. He's going to get onto the boat. He's trying to look for the infection. He had the angle there for a second, but somehow is unable to commit to it. He gets it onto Kexo. He needs an opportunity to get this teleport right now, but right now, Jack, he can't. He has it onto Dan as well, since he didn't end up touching. That's the slipstream. Where did Kexo go? He's going to be infecting everyone. Kexo's going to be fully reset. That is game. Oh my god. Wait, but he tries to block him off. What is he trying to do? Is he trying to keep him from there so he
keep him in the trial? He's got a long time to make it to that gate. You're not going to be able to make that.
And with the save coming through, the body block with these people, that is just it, man. A 3-stage result as Invictus tries to confirm.
Shining the entirety of his flashlight here at Xeno, saying, you know what, we got this 3-stage game and we are ready to take this to the end finally after a hard-fought battle. It's not over yet, but that's a really nice result and a good place to put your team in if you are Invictus. We'll see who's going to be playing killer for them soon. But that was a really, really good performance. I honestly, I am kind of surprised they went for the save and went for the 3-stage rather than the 5-stage, but that is a huge difference in results for the survivors, right? Taking those extra 2 hook stages off puts their killer in a really nice position. You know, going for 5 stages is somewhat standard, but 3-stage game, that is a dominant performance from these survivors, and it is 3 fresh, to be fair. You can't tunnel anyone out. So you have to play for probably 4 stages at this point. 4 stages any which way will win the game for them.
Oh my lord, I can't begin to describe kind of how the. I thought it would be a lot more a lot more close, man. But honestly, with what Cynic's been able to pull off, I wouldn't be surprised if this even might be like a 2-stage. It's going to be extremely difficult, but I know it's definitely possible, especially with the roster that's been presented to us here today. So let's go ahead and ask, Jolie, Zach, what are your thoughts on such a result? Do you think that they're going to be able to pull off? Let's go ahead and reunite as four real quick, put our own predictions. Do you think Cynic is going to be able to come back with a two-stage result to take the win, or are they just going to be completely blitzed through because of it being a powerful killer on a very situational map?
That's a good question. And it really, for me, I know Nightlight to be their singularity killer. So if he's still awake, then and he steps in, then I have every confidence he's going to be able to be that result. To be honest, it is his knowledge of cam placements. I've seen a show. Well, I casted a showcase with him as Nightlight, as Singularity, and this is one of the maps that we showcased, and he knows a lot of interesting cam spots, right? And yeah, I think that you give Nightlight an opportunity to hold a 3-gen with Singularity. You know, it's something he's very good at. Something it's very easy to do on a killer like Singularity, and he's very well practiced. So playing for 4 stages, you know, as long as he has like a good hold over the map, like in terms of information and what progress there is, I think is well within his abilities, to be honest. If you'll agree with Jolie, like this is definitely Nightlight's territory, and he is on killer. So
I don't know Nightlight the same way that you do, but I was immediately going to say that it should again, because we just saw there was a hard time for Cynic Singularity, but it should be an easy win for Invictus here. 4 stages on a killer that can 3-gen very effectively and can just whittle down survivors. I was gonna say, yeah, I would not have expected this result from the start that was presented. Like the build was pretty unorthodox, full totem build. But I will say that I was expecting a lot more stages to happen once I saw that strong start, even though there was a god setup on the first chase. He did have a good position, another survivor that was off position. I was expecting for it to be a snowball scenario. It didn't happen, which kind of surprises me. So as long as Nightlight just gets 1 snowball opportunity, he literally only needs to hook 2 people and camp one of those persons to death. Yeah, that doesn't seem like an impossible task.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have expected a 3-stage result watching Xeno go into that match either. You know, these players have continued to surprise us throughout the day, so certainly not impossible.
I can't.
Oh, go ahead, Spencer. Sorry.
I was about to say I can't exactly say that this is going to be the easiest thing. I would like to kind of, you know, spice things up a bit, throw my own opinion out there, saying that maybe Cynic might be able to pull this through. Now, 3-stage, Jesus Christ, bro. If I ever saw that in a tournament, I'd probably crash the fuck out, because that is horrendous when it comes to any type of result to like deal with. As survivors, that's atrocious, dude. You can only take 2 stages at minimum. Like that's the wiggle room that we have. That's very, very little. But remember, we're not me here. We are Cynic. We got to think. We got to put ourselves in the minds of Cynic. Are these people going to go at this with a positive mindset? Are they like, yeah, we could definitely beat this? Or are they going to just like completely, you know, dude, this is grand finals. They got to go into this. They got to try and do their best. So I'm assuming maybe with the amount of coordination and team comp that they were able to build, like the chemistry, maybe that's going to be enough to pull them through. But I guess we'll see with Jolie and Zach taking this away.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to be watching this early game closely, at least from my point of view. Already setting up his cam, knows the spots. Let's see what kind of setup he gives himself in this early game. See what kind of gens he spots out. And for me, you know, a Nightlight, look at this build. Like it's sloppy oppression, pop, and mindbreaker. It's totally like touch a gen and you'll suffer. Like literally, this guy's got a game plan. You know it just from seeing that build. And really, like you know, I often know him to be. Yeah, look, just immediately finding someone. This is what we're gonna be seeing. It is cameras in the right spot, knows the spawns, instant infection, and he gets look at that. Gets a TP immediately. Gonna apply sloppy butcher, kick a gen. That's two regression events across the other one, whatever's been working on, and it's going to be really fast paced. To be honest, I have full confidence that he's going to beat this Wincon. But yeah, I agree with Spectral. Like, this is a strong team. That they can combat this, and they know Nightlight's tricks at this point. So yeah, I mean, you're already seeing such a ridiculously fast paced game. Just see how the survivors handle it.
Just camera placements everywhere.
Yeah, he has some. There's some spots where you can get like I call it the International Space Station camera, where he can go so high up. You can't actually get any TPs on, but it gives you so much vantage.
Info.
Yeah. We're in for a longer road, I think, but yeah, 3 EMPs already. Hasn't got a hook stage, only 1 injury, but he has already so much presence around the map. And the survivors have done well to actually get away from him, really. And we're just watching it all, like, what he's able to do. This is his kill later. This is his territory.
This is dizzy. This is so dizzy.
Just cams on coverage. It doesn't matter. Like, his cam placement covers everything. And if it's a sloppy injury onto, you know, another survivor, he can commit this chase. He's got the EMP onto Ivan and doesn't have really too much to work with apart from a pallet up here. Already dropped the one upstairs. But, you know, no down to speak of. It's still not over. Does he get that? No. Ivan just manages to go down. Tries to double back into it, but unfortunately, it's not how Singularity works. Yeah.
Firecracker trying to save does not work, and now they're going to get potted. Actually, someone else got potted, apparently. Oh, and they potted the same person.
Dude, he knows where everyone is at all times, and he knows what counts to use. It's genuinely like his thing, you know. You give Nightlight Singularity, especially in a situation where you're on match point. He's going to pull through, but game's not over yet. Let's watch and see. Getting a TP onto Angel, has the pop as well. That's going to be oppression on another gen. And when he's using these EMPs to TP immediately, he's got that Mindbreaker too, so they can't use their exhaustions. If they even have it. Not seen their builds, but yeah, it's just a ruthless cycle which he kind of forces them into.
I just, yeah. This is just... I feel like this is just a spider putting webs around and just playing off of it. Every time a little bug enters the web, they're there. There's gonna be another sloppy. Yep. 3 sloppies here. Immediate TP. You can't even body block here because stage is a stage. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 injuries across the board, everyone on the verge of death, and we're in the realm of his 3 gen. Not even letting them pop this gen, the 2nd gen of the game.
And he's gonna slug.
And everyone is in range of death. Like, you cannot do anything. It's so hard. Like, even if you reset, it's gonna take too much time. And he's got enough cam placement to have like enough coverage of the map. So it's a lose-lose in every scenario for the survivors. And this is what he's good at. He's good at digging his claws in and never letting go. That is how I describe Nightlight Singularity. This is 100% his specialty. So yeah, I think Invictus have won out in the draft here, you know, getting to the Singularity set. But yeah, like he's looking at a 4K2, 4K3 like at this rate.
I mean, his win condition is
almost
what?
it. It's 4 stages.
It's this hook and then just camp.
Yeah, like 3 of them committing to 1 gen.
I mean, they did the gen. They win. Can we just say it like that?
We could, yeah. I felt like that gem was problematic. Nice vault there coming through. Because that's the area he's trying to defend, so it's a benefit. But yeah, look, this is.
Why? Why are we
It's rough.
committing to that heal?
It's very, very hard to see a kind of a light of hope at the end of the tunnel here. Like, it's so much pressure so early on. This is what they needed, was a perfect chase at the start, like with basically no pressure. And yeah, it's really a matter of situation. But 2 slugs, already at 4 stages, already won, and this is a matter of time now for him to close out the game.
I mean, the survivors they know that they've lost.
He's trying to. Oh! Okay, this is the mental battle. Ivan just staring him down like that. He's trying to ego him. Chase me. Wants the 1v1 at Shaq.
What the?
He wants his teammate to be saved. Oh no!
Oh my!
No, dude. Yeah, this is why. The thing is, it's going downhill because they kind of had to take drastic measures to try and get back into this game. Which is really all they can do, right?
They're not back into the game even.
No, I mean,
They're
like,
all
even to
slug.
start with, after the first one. But yeah, 4K3 is just...
What just happened? Like
It's
what?
Nightlight on Singularity. I'm telling you, this is his thing. This is what he does.
Like for this to be the last set of the last match and have such a big discrepancy in gameplay, it's just daunting, honestly. It really is just daunting. Now, it is a pleasure to watch someone good play at their craft. Like, it is amazing to watch. But it's... but it is just, yeah, this is the Singularity I remember. This is the Singularity that I remember, that I've played against and that I've seen that can happen in tournaments. And this is the type of Singularity that I was expecting from the first set as well, but yeah, just a 4K3, just like
Watching
that.
this victory through the camera. Yeah, 4K3 just... obviously the game, I mean, we can't look at it as a measure of, I guess, the pressure he had. That the survivors getting out of that situation at the start of the match put them behind, even further behind, because it didn't work out, and then he just snowballed completely. So, you know, in normal circumstances, if they played that out slow, then probably a better result for the survivors. But playing to such a low stage win condition, like, you know what I mean? It's they have to take matters into their own hands, and
They have to use
unfortunately,
EMPs very
yeah, there's so much they have to do,
offensively.
and not enough. You know, it's it's late for these guys, right? It's really late for them. So yeah, what an insane match. You know, taking it 4-2 with the demo tie. We got to game 7, like we said it at the start, right, guys? We said this was going to be a really competitive set. And ultimately it came down to those wildcard sets, like, you know, the specialty Singularity set, the night set. Just ultimately, like, these players showing what they can do, even in like the unusual scenarios.
Spectral, Knife, what do you think about this set? I'm betting you're feeling pretty jealous that you didn't get to cast this one.
I think we saw some strong plays, some very, like you said, you know, they had to play really aggressive to play into the low stages, so I can't blame them for the way that they played, but ultimately Invictus is going to come out on top. It was an absolute pleasure casting with you guys. It was a pleasure watching this really close matchup.
Jesus.
We can all go to bed now, right?
Yep.
Bedtime.
I guess that is the case. Well, I mean, for you, of course, we're going to be staying up until, like, us at NA. We're going to be here up for a while. Probably either scrimming for those late night teams that decide to do it at 9 p.m. for some reason. I don't know how you guys do it. You guys are some troopers, even though I do it myself. I low-key don't want to. Every single time I scrim, I end up miserable. But yeah. Jesus. That was just amazing. Well, any final thoughts, guys?
Well, I guess don't know how you guys usually do outros at the arcade, but
We just
thank you.
love to thank everyone, you know.
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, thank you to you guys. It's been a pleasure casting and just doing like a general analysis of these matches, like such high level gameplay. What was I even gonna say? Oh, honestly, I'm tired, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it massively. It's been a pleasure to cast with you guys, especially such an important game than season 5 of the arcades. I'll leave it to you guys for the outro, but thanks for having me, and I'm sure I'll be back.
Yeah, nothing else to add. It was a pleasure. Thank you to the refs and the staff, everyone who helped put this match on. Thank you to the players for staying up late and finishing out this grueling long match. But that is it for me. If anybody watching is interested in Arcade, you guys make sure you join the Discord, get notifications when our next season is going to begin. But other than that, we will be back with another tournament before too long.
Oh, I'll add as well, of course, adapting to the scenario that happened early in the match too. We've had all of the spectator slots filled during this game, and that's huge thank you to everyone for actually going into the game and sticking with the lobby too. Because we had to adjust a little bit to a situation, which is, we all came together and it worked out, right?
Yeah.
I guess it's my turn now.
Yeah, your turn. Crack on.
Okay.
Take us home. Send us home.
No. That's Spectral's job. I'm just gonna say thank you for letting me cast. I believe I casted one of the semifinals as well before, and this final was like absolutely amazing. I would have loved to cast the Demogorgon set because I was screeching when those M2s were happening. To be completely honest. The Deathslinger one was a bit of a bummer that we didn't get to see the second set, even though it was a very easy win condition. And this last set was like cream of the crop, a master at work, really fun to see. I am, however, surprised that we didn't see any blights or nurses in a final. It's so weird to not see that.
Well, it definitely comes to show that people have finally decided to kind of split away from the norm of these blight and nurse sets, which is honestly really helpful. It helps a lot with the entertainment as well, because don't get me wrong, there's a lot of fast plays that happen, but it kind of goes back to the same thing that we've been talking about, even since the best to the best, that no one is picking these blight to nurse sets anymore, and that's what we love to see. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. This has been The Arcade. We were your forecasters here to cover such an amazing match between Cynic and Invictus. To summarize the end once more, Invictus takes it home with the 4-3 lead. And that's been it for us. We love you all, and good night.